The Thursday evening overdose. Give it live
Welcome. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Andrea.
Hi, Vinny.
Ahoy hoy.
Hi, Matt.
Hello.
Eric's here. Eric's
Hi,
our new
Eric.
pal. Never seen him before, but we figured, what the fuck? It's an open invitation every Thursday night to anybody who fancies himself able to do the talk format.
He was just
Come on
hanging
by.
out on the side of the road by the off ramp.
Yeah.
And
He
we were
looked
like,
like he knew how
Guys
to
just found
talk.
me and let me in.
Dude, I've seen guys just walking around on the off ramps around here, and I'm like, if I tried to do that for 10 seconds, I'd get fucking arrested.
Yeah.
And I see guys walking with fucking giant backpacks that look like they've been walking since fucking Minnesota or some shit, you know, just hitching rides and stuff, and like drinking like out of bags. I'm like, how are you people getting away with this fucking shit? Nate's
The
here
nerve of some people.
too. Nate, hello.
Hi.
Hi, Nate.
Get right on that mic for me.
Hello.
Old pal. Hello. All right, so full house tonight. I'm gonna get a fucking tattoo while we start getting.
a few people are.
Oh yeah, are we doing a bunch of tattoos tonight?
Yeah.
Cool. So Andrea, I'm gonna have you kind of direct the show because I need to lean over here and give Matt Gear, local artist, by the way, who had a little showcase the other night.
Yeah, too many of you chumps stayed home for it too.
Yeah, a bunch of fucking chumps. Actually,
Jerks.
hey, we gave him the Sunday evening overdose bump. A couple of our fans showed up and were extremely generous.
Indeed.
Yeah?
And
Indeed.
and bought a ton of shit, and that was really cool. So thanks to those couple of people, overdosers who showed up to.
Yes. Alan and Jimmy.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
That was cool, and they bought a bunch of shit. But Matt did a good job. I was standing there. It was like a fucking discount socks at a flea market. Just people just flying off the shelves.
I am a fucking great snake oil salesman,
Yeah.
and you have to be an artist. You know,
I've
you got to
actually-
push that shit.
I've actually never seen anyone at an art show before selling at that fast of a rate. I mean, because you'd had such affordable stuff. I think it was fun for people because a lot of guys show up with $400 paintings, $1,000 paintings, and it was really cool that people were coming up and going, "Hey, what's this? It's just $30. Really? Let me go get some cash."
You don't want to
know?
price yourself out, you know.
Yeah.
Art for the
Yeah.
people. And did you guys enjoy my rant when they passed me the mic there when they let me get on stage? Did you guys catch that?
No, I don't think I saw.
Oh,
that.
I let the crowd have it.
Did you really?
Yeah, I was like, buying art is not like spending money. It is a blow against the establishment. It's good for the kids and it's good for the soul. And I was like, a lot of people say, why buy art when I can look at it for free online? And I was like, well, why fly a kite when you can pop a pill? Why fall in love when you can rent a prostitute? It's the same thing. Buying art is good for the non-tangible aspects of life, and I really just let the people have it. I was like, buy some art
Bunch
or
of
you're a
cunts.
chump.
You assholes.
And there
Exactly.
was that fucking kid. So it was like also a music show, and it was a bunch of acoustic acts. And the one kid.
Yeah, I'm really sorry.
No. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just not. It's not something I'm currently interested in. But when I was like 19 or 20, I probably would have thought it was really cool. But there was a kid who was probably about that age, right? He's probably about 19, 20, 21, 22, something. The kid that walked off stage, who like threw some weird autistic fit and just left.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
No,
you gotta love
I've met that
that.
kid. I've met him before. That was odd.
That was strange, right?
Yeah, I don't know what else to say about that. That was really kind of weird.
Yeah, he was just having some feedback and just like gave his guitar to somebody and looked like he was gonna cry and like I can't do this, I'm leaving, and then just went outside and just started. I saw him out in the parking lot just like walking in circles, yelling and stuff. I'm like, holy shit, this guy's a little bit nuts, and it was like in a grade school gymnasium. It was
Hey,
like
that was a cool venue. Okay.
People are beneath
it's not,
me.
It's not to belittle the venue. It's just like it's not a place to act like a prima donna. It's not a place to
Yeah.
act like you're some kind of hot shit. You're showing up at a art. It was basically almost like a co-op of a bunch of artists just to agree to share a space and see what they could do. And that's not the type of place you act like a big shot. Is my point. You know?
Which actually makes you look more like a little bitch in the end, anyway.
Yeah. So we did that, and anyways,
I was homesick. Otherwise, I'd have been there.
Interesting.
I was in bed.
So then Becky got in touch with me from Illinois Metaphysical and Paranormal Society. And
She's the founder.
yeah, so they've got here, Matt's got to draw on my arm real quick. They've got what's that event
How
coming
the
up?
hell are we gonna do this, Finn?
What do you mean?
I'm
There-
left-handed.
How about like this?
Their their large event in August is called SilCon. It's a paranormal, horror, anime, and gaming convention. So something for everybody on that one, really. That's August 21st and 22nd in Mattoon, Illinois.
Yeah.
And she's
Or no.
also hosting a spirit communication
Yeah.
workshop / dinner / paranormal investigation at a former Charleston, Illinois hospital. And that's June 27th. And that's $50 for a paranormal investigation and dinner. That's
Those
a pretty
are
good deal.
yeah, those are supposed to be really cool. I've seen. We haven't been out to one. We've got plans. We're going to that convention, right?
Yeah, I believe
that's the one
we
we're
were
going
just
to.
talking about that
Yeah.
on Sunday. Yeah.
So we're doing that, and who's that other psychic lady that she sent us something about? They're coming on the show on Sunday, is why we're doing this. Becky from IMPS, Illinois Metaphysical Paranormal Society, and her friend, who she sent some info on too. Sorry, I'm getting my tattoo prep here, and I don't have it right in front of me.
Yeah, and my computer doesn't have Microsoft Word on it, so I got to get it out of the email.
So, Eric,
but
let's
we're
get-
excited to have them on
let's-
Sunday.
We'll get back to that in a second.
Yeah.
Andrea. Why don't you find that? They're going to be on the Sunday. Eric, what do you feel about the paranormal? Are you into it?
I believe it's interesting. It's not something I'm super into, but I mean, I'm not skeptic. I think a lot of that stuff can be possible. So
Yeah.
it is pretty cool and pretty interesting to hear about.
We've done a lot of it on the show.
Cool.
Nate, you into ghosts?
I've seen a ghost. And
Let's do that
I'm
one.
Still like fuck all that. I don't want to believe it, even though I seen one.
What did you see? Have we talked about this on the show before?
I'm like
think so.
Winston from Ghostbusters.
Do you want to tell us about that?
Steady paycheck. I'll believe anything you want.
It's pretty simple. I mean, I used to live in an old house in Cicero, and there was an old guy that used to live there, and he died in the house. And I guess he would like constantly
Scratch.
wear fucking flannels, like that was his thing.
Yeah, the handle
from
looks
what the
too thick, I
neighbors
think.
told me.
That wasn't it.
And I was just sitting in my room.
Well, can you do it a little
and,
thinner for me?
When I tattoo it, it's gonna be a lot thinner.
All right.
Sorry.
I was sitting in my room and just jamming out to music, and I didn't even smoke weed or do any other stuff at that moment.
Square.
Yeah, I know, right? So I was just sitting there zoning out, listening to music, and then I look next to me, and there's just some fucking old guy sitting next to me, and I start swinging my fist like a maniac, and then there was
Right.
nothing,
Ooh, that's weird.
and I was pretty fucking freaked out by that shit, and I was thinking, man, I just must have really been in the zone and imagining shit. But then I heard that the guy I seen was wearing a flannel, and then I heard that the old dude was a guy who
Was a wearer of
constantly-
flannels.
constantly wearing flannels and shit. Yeah.
What a bizarre fact to follow your reputation after you die. Like, I hope no one remembers that I wear flannel. I hope that's not like a thing that's just perpetuated by the way people talk about me. Like, oh, and he was always wearing flannel.
That's what they would have said about me if I died in like 1998.
Yeah.
Damn. That guy was always wearing flannel and having hair down past his ears.
Make an amusing epigraph on a tombstone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
A man of many flannels.
So, speaking of attacking a ghost, my neighbor who lives in this same house, this is an old fucking big house that's split into two units. And the guy that lives on the other side of the house told me, I've told a lot of the ghost stories about this house before, and one of them was that he told me that he woke up one night and there was some like soldier looking dude standing next to his bed. And so I guess this guy who lives next door is named Rick. He keeps a sword next to the bed for protection. Just I don't know, whatever. And he told me he grabbed the sword, fucking swung it, and smashed the wall, and just broke the shit out of the fucking the drywall.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
A sword's a little big to keep for indoor like battles, though. I mean, just
I know. And
realistically.
he's from Texas too. What a
He
pussy.
should know better. He should
Yeah, I
know to
know.
have a big knife, not a sword.
No, he should have a rifle.
Or a gun, right? Yeah, you would think.
Man,
He should sleep with a rifle with a bayonet and
fucking right.
a bunch of musket balls.
How's that, Vin?
Huh?
How's that?
That looks good.
And it's not
What do
going
you
to be
think,
that
Gatorade?
thick because I drew it
No,
on.
I
with
know,
it.
I know. Yeah, sorry.
Oh yeah,
You like that?
Yeah,
All right.
definitely.
I'm getting a
That's right
switchblade tattooed on my forearm while we're doing the show here.
that looks great.
Let me
Badass.
figure out a way to seat myself here.
I've never gotten into I have never been close enough to a ghost to consider engaging physically. I've only ever seen a ghost at a distance.
It's a last resort.
Yeah.
You wanna try to
I didn't
reason
think
with
it
them
was a
first.
Fucking ghost.
Well, I don't know. Nate said it was like a knee-jerk reaction. He said I immediately started swinging.
Yeah, fuck you, old person. What the fuck you doing here? Get out of my life, bitch.
Thought you were dead. What the fuck's going on?
I don't know what the fuck it was, man, but it was gone once I started swinging. It was a pussy,
Just took off like a little fucking
little bitch.
metaphysical twat.
Just trying to sell you a flannel, bro.
Money's tight in the other side.
Did you find the info on? She wants to come.
Yeah.
So this Sunday, Becky
And,
from Imps is going to come on with who?
Ursula Kalin.
Ursula Kalin.
Yeah,
I love
and
the name
Ursula.
Ursula.
Is the one who's going to be leading the spirit communication workshop / dinner / paranormal investigation.
Okay.
And then this is also they use the proceeds from this function to help fund the SilCon, which is the large convention in August. So they're connected. It sounds like both of them are going to be really fun. This is only $50 for, and it says that they also are going to be demonstrating EVP recordings, the Spirit Box, something called Spring Ouija. I don't know what that
I
is.
just might have to take a break.
But it sounds pretty interesting, so that'll be good. I look forward to talking to them a little bit.
The
This
one
looks
was
really
in
cool.
Mantoon, right?
Yeah, the large
Isn't that,
convention,
like, Southern
SilCon,
Illinois?
is in Mantoon.
I don't like this.
it's Mattoon.
Mattoon. I don't know why. Mantoon. Mattoon. Is that in Southern Illinois? I don't know where that is. I just know we're going there.
No, it's not that far. It's a couple hours away.
Central.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good. That'll be fun.
All right,
So-
cool. So they're going to be on the show Sunday around 10 o'clock. So make sure you catch that.
Beautiful.
We're going to do some ghost talk. Yeah, we haven't had any of the paranormal people on in a while.
No, not for a while. We have a lot of those friends, though. Maybe they're all mad at us about the Bachelor's Grove documentary. I'd be mad at us about that. But that'll be fun. So I want to know, did you guys hear about this Canadian politician who just revealed he's been pulling a 10-year con, and he's actually a performance artist, and he was elected. He was the main contender for one of the political parties against their current prime minister.
Does he wear sneakers on his hands?
He doesn't wear sneakers on his hands. No, he started in 1999. He started writing diary-like personal letters to the prime minister. One letter every day about what's going on in his life in an effort to get to know the prime minister. And then after receiving no response for like 10 years, 12 years, he called about getting onto a panel at a political convention. And he said it was an art-inspired political project, but they kept like including him and giving him more and more responsibility. And finally, he became the official candidate in a district that has never voted for his party.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So then
He's a Tory, isn't he?
He's a Tory.
I
Yeah.
did not know that the Tories were still around.
The official Tory candidate. Yeah. They're a conservative group.
Eric, you know a lot about American political history and stuff, right?
Yeah, I know some stuff.
Who
yeah.
were the Tories, anyways?
The Tories? If I remember, they were a British loyalist party back like during like the Revolution and
fuck
stuff
them
like that.
pussies.
So they're very traditionally conservative.
Very like a traditionally like conservative. Yeah. Like
Fuck
at that
them
time, they're
guys.
obviously like very much loyal to the crown, that whole kind of deal. So yeah.
Is this okay, Matt?
Oh yeah.
We took us a while to settle on my
They all
positioning here.
listen to Oasis.
So this guy, Chris Lloyd is his name, by the way. Chris Lloyd was able to act his way as a performance artist into the official candidate for the Tory party. But then, see, he got that far and he never made any effort to conceal his background or anything. He like didn't really think he was going to get that far, I guess.
The buzzing is the tattoo gun for the
Yeah, in case you guys didn't
listeners.
know.
We are all systems go.
But
On
he
the two. I call them twos.
never he never made any effort to conceal his background. So then people started like looking into who he was, and they realized he was just a performance artist, and they forced him to resign. And they were like, "Whoops, we can't elect you. You got to get out of the way now."
Wait,
But
so was
Why
everything
not,
he done, was
though?
that all in an effort to get to know the prime minister? Like, was that...
that's how it started. And then I guess he was just kind of like, I'm going to take it as far as I can. But this guy's like he is an artist in a lot of ways. He does like weird performance art like this, but then he also does like painting, and he does musical stuff. They said that he does like hyper realism paintings, and is really well connected in the art world, and they think that that's how he was able to like kind of fund this project and manipulate people by having people behind him who were just part of the art project more than they were actually part of the political movement.
Yeah. Pretty crazy fucking.
But now after he's been forced to resign, he won't comment on anything. He won't make any statements about anything. He's just like, he's gone now. He's just he was a politician, and now he's gone. But it's pretty amazing that they would let him get so far. I mean,
So what's he doing now? He's just gone? What do you mean gone?
he won't comment for stories. He apparently is still. Let's see. He's a member of the anti-Harper group Lead Now, and all of his use of social media and the message he seems to communicate in his artwork suggests that he's actually not conservative-minded at all, and is a very liberal and progressive. Has those types of opinions when it comes to whatever. So he was able to act exactly opposite of how he actually felt. But do you think anyone would ever get away with that in America? How was he able to do that? I don't like. Why did nobody Google him before they said, "Yeah,
Well, you
let's
said
do
they
this"?
were just giving him a bunch of responsibilities.
Candidate-
Well, I mean,
And-
did he get elected, or was he just a running candidate? Did he hold any kind of position?
No, he was just the official candidate for the Tory party.
Okay.
So he was the officially named main contender from their party.
Because that's how dumb and lazy people who are into party politics are, that
Yeah.
are just, I choose this side. And they'll get all rah-rah over a character that no one's going to fucking check him out. That really doesn't surprise me, actually.
Well, and also he's like kind of young looking. I don't know if you guys can see this picture. He's the one on the left. But he's like kind of young looking. He doesn't have that like horrible politician face. He doesn't look dead in the eyes. Like
Yeah,
An
that
actual
should have
person.
that should have been
Yeah.
that should have been the tip off right there.
that
It's
should have
like,
been a red flag.
look at the guy next to him looks like all his parts were put on like Mr. Potato Head.
The guy
like
next
look at his
to
fucking
him-
hair. His hair just gets switched on and off all the time. That's not what a person looks like.
He's-
See, that's
yeah.
a politician right there.
Well, the guy next to him looks like he's pretending to be a politician, while the other guy just looks like a genuine guy.
Right.
So,
Looks like a guy who might smoke weed.
yeah. Oh, boy. But I don't think anyone would ever be able to get away with that in the United States. How
There
many
have been people that have gone on the Stephen Colbert show from the Republican Party before that he was really big, and they didn't know that he was a character.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I forget who that was. That was that they thought they were just going on a conservative show or whatever, and they show up and like, uh-oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to think on my feet here.
I don't know how to do this. No one wrote what to say for this. Yeah, I remember that. I feel like that happened more than once when Colbert was getting started.
Well, I think that happened once on the Daily Show too. I think Blagojevich or something went on there and made a total ass of himself because they thought it was like supposed to be some legitimate news show or something like that.
Yeah.
Blagojevich is a douche.
Oh,
yeah.
Blago.
I may have told this story before, but he came into the restaurant that I worked at in Downers Grove, Illinois, when he was on the campaign trail and he was doing small town parades and shit. This is a small town west of Chicago, and he's comes in. I have to say that for our international audience. He comes in, and they order a couple things. I don't think he even touched anything. He just took a bunch of pictures and tried to make fucking asshole jokes with everybody and stuff. And then he walked out, and I kind of went out and had a cigarette, and I was looking at the parade. And one of the weirdest things I ever saw was there were photographers off to the side taking pictures of him, and he was pointing at no one. and he was just smiling and pointing at people who weren't there, and they were just taking pictures of him as he was walking down the street, acting like he was interacting with people. And I remember just looking at that, just being like, why are we doing this?
So
What is
creepy.
this?
That's what people like, man. You gotta fucking bullshit. the people,
I know. I
what I'm saying?
love pictures of people pointing at things.
Yeah, I do
that
too,
really
man.
gets
That's my
me.
shit. Yo,
That really, I mean, it.
know what
I
I'm
know.
saying?
I feel so connected
That's the
with
shit.
you now that you've pointed at
it's
me.
like Hillary Clinton.
We gotta switch
I guess
tattoo
her
motors.
website is Hillary Clinton's website. So from what I've heard, is she's got a bunch of pictures of herself taking selfies and shit.
She's got a bunch of pictures
of herself
Taking
taking
selfies.
selfies.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, fuck
I'm-
yeah.
I'm
The
looking
people
it up.
love it, man. She just
Yeah.
needs to stick, you know.
She knows what a selfie is. I can relate to that.
All right, so we're
love
getting.
it.
I don't know what the fuck is going on with Ustream. We're getting messages that it's distorted and messages that it's way too quiet. So I don't know what the fuck. Not and like we're getting messages that it's too loud and distorted, and then messages that it's too quiet at the same time. You know.
Ustream
Right.
just wants money.
Yeah, they would just want us to pay.
Shit, there it is.
Yeah, I got another message that people can barely hear us. All right, I'm turning it back up, and then if it's fucking distorted for you, I don't know what the fuck to do then. But I got two people telling me it's barely fucking audible. So there you go. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna have to flush this whole studio out. So we moved to my house from our real studio. What? 2 months ago or something, 3 months ago. We've been here full time. So I think since it's been a gradual process and we've evolved here, that we're going to have to just flush all the gear back out and just kind of start over and reorganize everything.
Yeah.
The fuck are you
It's
smiling
about
about?
time. I'm looking at these pictures of Hillary Clinton taking selfies. There's so many of them.
Jesus Christ.
That's the thing now. You can't point at motherfuckers anymore. People don't want to be pointed at. You got to take selfies.
You got to take
with
selfies.
people.
It's all you can do.
Selfies are the new pointing.
Yeah, that's right.
You heard it here first, folks.
David Bach says the distortion sounds like the compression through the stream encoder.
Nerd. What does that mean?
I would listen to that guy.
Oh, wait. I just got an update. It says no distortion now.
Okay.
Good. All right. We're back.
Good thing people are looking out for us. David Box, call us in if you want to talk about that boring shit. I mean, call in to us. Call. All right, what else we got, Andrea?
We have these sweet
And
ass.
don't wait for me to ask you. I keep telling you, and you got to get ready just to say that stuff on your own. You know? Makes it awkward if I have to stop and go, all right, what else is next?
You had literally just finished talking when you said that.
You should know that was the end of that conversation. You need to instantly go to the next one.
Vin, this is incredibly
Jetpacks.
awkward, and I feel like I'm gonna completely fuck
shit.
your arm up trying to tattoo you this way.
All right, well,
Because
do we need to
there's,
move then?
there's no way that I can get to the bottom of this tattoo.
Okay, we'll move.
We're
We'll
gonna
figure it
have
out.
to. Like, there's just this is not
You
gonna
guys
happen.
keep going.
All right, jetpacks. Do you guys know that jetpacks are a real thing, and not those shitty ass jetpacks that have to go over water with the tube
water
coming out of them?
propelled.
No, real, honest to god,
I know,
jet
and
powered jetpacks.
Yeah, that
It's
is
gotta-
that is
Oh,
awesome.
I can do
This,
this.
You gotta have some toasty buns
we go.
down there.
This guy, well, you wear a suit and like a helmet and stuff. This guy, Eves Rossi, has been working on jetpacks for years and years and years, and he just goes around the world and tests them out in different places and figures out how to make them better. But here, he's got this video he just put out of he and a friend flying over Dubai. Yeah, they had GoPros like on their helmets.
That's awesome. That's like a childhood dream come true. You know,
Yeah.
Like, who as a
Fuck
kid
yeah.
didn't wish
But
they
look
had a
at the-
jetpack?
Wait, and they're riding real jetpacks?
Real
Yeah, that's
jetpacks,
dope.
yeah. What?
I remember when I was a kid playing fucking Star Wars Shadows of the Empire on N64, and you could use a jetpack in that shit. And man, oh man, if I had a jetpack, I'd be on some tall buildings.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be doing what they're doing in this video, which is just fucking flying their jetpacks.
The funny thing is, these fucking pricks are doing it over water too.
Notice nobody ever says, I'd use it to fight crime.
Yeah,
No.
fuck that, dude.
Screw that. Yeah.
What kind of crime you gonna
how is
fight
that-
up
yeah.
in the sky?
That's typical superhero shit, though,
I
right?
see you
Like,
jaywalking, sir. Stop that.
like Iron Man, you know?
No, I know what you mean, but I don't see what advantages you have with the jetpack. It's like, other than getting it,
Swoop kick.
Yeah,
Other than
getting away.
swooping down.
Like, yeah, you have to probably lower down pretty slowly, and they're just gonna whack you in the knees with baseball bats while you're coming down. You know, just like, fuck, it's that fucking jet guy. Like, all right, just smack his legs when he gets low enough.
That's really fresh though. They're in fucking Dubai in this video, and that's the tallest fucking building in the world. And they're
Yeah,
up
and they're just
fucking
zipping
flying
around
that
it.
bitch.
Yeah, and that's the other
fucking
thing. You know, those ones that you have to stay over water that have the tube coming out of the back, you can't get high up
You only
like
go
this.
up like 30 feet.
This is like literally a little tiny wearable plane.
Yeah.
It's
You gotta have some training for that. I wonder if they wear the suits that, like, in case something happens, they wear like the squirrel suits where you can glide. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Have you seen those suits?
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. They probably have parachutes in those things.
As always, you can find the Sunday Evening Overdose on Facebook to check the shit out that we're talking about as we post it real time.
Yeah. This guy, Yves Rossi, though, he's been working on building his own jetpacks for like 9 years. And every time he takes them out and does something like this, he like pushes them to the limit and figures out how to make them better. So he's just going to keep making them better and better and better and better from here, which is already like the coolest jetpack you've ever. I mean, how are they going to make that better?
That's cooler than the one in Star Wars Shadows from the Empire, man. That's the shit.
So beautiful.
It really is. It's majestic. So I'm putting this video up for you guys. He's got a bunch more videos, too, of his earlier incarnations of this.
Those are cool rockets.
Those are cool rockets.
So when they going up for sale?
I know. Like, how long till we can just get one and fucking do mushrooms and fly around?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any word on
fucking-
exactly when he's putting them on the market.
Nate.
Flying is a privilege, not a right. So.
Nate, me and you are getting jetpacks. We're going to go out to the coast. We're going to eat a half a pound of mushrooms each. And we're just going to fly out over the ocean till we run out of gas, brother.
Then we're gonna swoop kick people.
And we're just going to swim home. You know what I mean? We're not going to make it.
No, I doubt it.
That's the way we're going to go out, me and you.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
It sounds like a good way to die. Bro.
Half pound of mushrooms, just dive down to the bottom of the ocean and let your breath out.
Vinny,
Yeah.
Vinny, I'm scared.
I'll hold your hand.
Thank you.
Now let's dive.
Yes.
I thought it was supposed to be bubbles, but my lips were really dry and it just didn't catch. And it was just like, "Whoa."
Oh, it's still very good, even though it didn't work. That
I'm
was
trying
good.
not to laugh,
Yeah.
thus jiggling my arm as I am a canvas right now. I'm a canvas for an important artist.
I think that this would be probably one of the scariest things you could really do, though.
Nah.
Nah, not with the right training.
Plus, like,
Unless
we
you're
all
afraid of
know, we've seen rocket suits and fucking jetpacks our whole lives. You know how to use one. It's not, I mean, it's.
I played it in Star Wars Shattered.
That's all the training you need, really.
Hey, yeah, man, that's right.
And once they figure out how to make an engine that powerful that doesn't burn the fuck out of you, that's the biggest problem with a jetpack, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Once they figure out how to do that, it's like, I mean, it's only taken, say there's a weight limit of like 250 pounds even. That's nothing for a fucking engine to fucking fly around.
Sorry.
Any
Yeah.
good size engine,
Well, this article says that the next thing they're going to be working on is figuring out a way to 3D print the turbine engines that go onto it so that they can consider mass production more easily.
Oh, wow.
So that's pretty cool.
So rich people
You
don't
could
have
just
to buy it
download
right away.
in the
Yeah.
future. You can download a jetpack and just print it.
Oh, man.
I think that's going too far.
No, that's not going far enough.
That's right. I agree.
Oh,
But you'll never be able to 3D print friends.
I need to though. Well, I wonder. And see, if jetpacks become popular, then how are they going to deal with flying into other countries via jetpack? They're going to have jetpack border patrol, too.
Oh my God! Stop saying jetpack.
Jetpack.
See, this is what I keep telling you. You don't understand where the conversation has waned.
See-
Like, we got the natural funny out of it. We did a whole song.
No. See, that's when they come out with jetpacks. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, like 6 packs of jetpacks?
No, jetpacks. There's a pact between countries.
Oh,
Who have
jetpacks.
a jet pact of anybody can fly wherever the fuck they want.
Yeah. Well, what I was actually working on was a segue into this Sweden story
Faster.
Sorry.
about Sweden put up neon dancing gay sailors to keep Russians out.
Yeah, because the Russians don't like the gays.
No.
They do a little bit of the gay bashing.
Yeah.
What?
This is really hard.
All right, well, here, do you want to take a break for a second?
Yeah, because like this is, I can't work like this. I'm
Oh, man.
I'm sitting like this. It's like trying.
It's hurting
take a
Matt
break
more
for a
than it's
second.
hurting Vinny. Holy shit.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I can't draw straight lines like this, and this whole thing is straight lines.
It looks good so far.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. That's why I'm like stopping now. 'cause
You're going
I'm
really,
like,
you're going really slow
right.
too.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
fuck this up if we go any more like this, because your arm is also it's twisting the skin,
Uh-huh.
and I need it flat. Like I need your arm in a somewhat.
All right, we'll
natural-
reposition
yeah.
during the break then.
Yeah, this is. I'm getting frustrated now.
All right, we'll reposition.
Well, in the meantime, let's talk about these gay sailors. Apparently, Sweden's been having a problem with Russian submarines getting in their water unauthorized. So they put up markers to mark where the water turns into Swedish water. And they are neon signs with gyrating, mostly nude sailors on them with the caption, "Welcome to Sweden, gay since 1944. And if that's not enough, the signs also emit a Morse code via sonars to be picked up by submarines approaching the area that translates into saying, "Come this way if you are gay."
That is a work of art.
It's
every
really,
way.
yeah.
That's a
it's-
really fine approach to the whole situation.
It really is.
How silly is that? Holy
know.
shit!
Holy fuck.
That is just the silliest thing any
really
government has ever
hilarious.
done.
Yeah, it is. It's downright silly to have done a thing like that. It's not even, I mean, there were so many more ways they could have communicated that, but they chose the best way possible. I'm putting the picture up right now for everybody of these neon sailors. But then to also add the Morse code in there too, like the image wasn't enough.
As if it just wasn't convincing enough. Yeah.
Yeah, like they just had to really drive it
Well, it
home.
really does look like a sign for like a gay club. Just a really obnoxious neon shitty fucking sign, you know, like.
Yeah, we can't go there. Look, they've been gay since 1944.
If we go there, we will get the gay.
Look how they've outlined his cock and everything. I'm not going there.
Yeah, there is a surprising amount of detail for a neon sign.
Go down to Boys Town. See some very explicit neon, I'm sure.
Is that a thing? Is there explicit neon?
There's like giant rainbow dildos down there. You know what I mean?
I'm so sheltered. I don't know any of these things. But here, I've got a video of this thing gyrating for you guys if you want to see. I just put this on the
Do I?
page too.
Pretty hot.
Oops.
And the fact that it's like waterproof and everything, it's great that the technology is there that we can do this.
Oh man, that is fucking hilarious.
Oh, and he's got little hearts behind him too. We neglected to mention that as well. So it's a gay sailor with like throbbing hearts behind him.
What a way to like diffuse any fucking anger of a person coming toward. Like, how do you still try to kill people that put that sign up for you to see? You know, you're like,
Yeah.
come on, dude, that's hilarious. Like, even if you hate gay people, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
fucking funny, man.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Somebody hates Mexicans.
Ding, 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 ding. Is it me?
I'll bet it's a lot of people, but a vaccine tragedy has put 75% of the children who received it in the hospital or they have died
Oh, what the fuck?
What is
Yeah.
it a vaccination for?
in Mexico. I don't know.
Oh, great.
Well, I've got the article. I'm
Good
working
job
on
the
it.
prep there.
Yeah, thank you. Well, why don't you talk about this one then? Do you know which
You
vaccine
got
it
this
was?
article last minute.
Yeah.
I told you to figure out what the fuck was going on.
Yeah,
I do believe
but then I
there's,
had like a zillion other things
no,
to
no,
do
We
no.
too.
have David Box
You
in
were
the house, I believe.
no. Listen, you were being incorrigible.
I'm wrong.
Tuberculosis.
Come on in.
Tuberculosis, rotavirus, and hepatitis B, which are all administered in a single vaccine. So those are ones that are always required for children in the United States to start school. Those are the ones that you need proof of in order to enroll in school. and
Oh, are
stuff.
they? Okay.
Yeah, those are. Yeah, I remember getting all of those. Actually, tuberculosis, you have to go back.
Yeah, when we
a
were
day
kids,
later.
there was not that many vaccines. Like people talk about now how their kids, like if they follow all the recommendations, they're going to end up with fucking 38 vaccines by the time they're 5 or something, or
Yeah.
all this crazy shit. When we were kids, I don't remember there being that many. You had hepatitis, you had fucking tetanus, you had whatever. I don't know if that's a vaccine, but you had tetanus shots. You had fucking polio, flu. We
I
used to
don't
get
re-
flu shots.
Yeah, I
It
don't
wasn't that much,
remember,
though.
Definitely multiple, because there's multiple hepatitis. So
Well, you had to get them in
more-
stages.
Yeah, and the tuberculosis one was one that they had to give you on your own, and then you had to go back like 2 days later and have it checked to make sure you didn't like get tuberculosis instead of having it work as a vaccine. 'cause
Right.
was-
Anything that
because
prevents
that was a-
tuberculosis may conversely give you tuberculosis.
yeah, and apparently with tuberculosis specifically, that risk is like way higher than with a lot of other vaccines. So you had to go back to the doctor and make sure you didn't actually get tuberculosis from that one. And they give you that when you're like 12.
Yeah.
So where are you at on the vaccines overall, Andrea? Because I'm still gonna say that you can't trust the huge ones.
Yeah.
If like who? Because like say a company like Pfizer is involved or something. Like, do you just not trust and or support anything they do just on principle? I mean, where are you at with all that?
I am constantly going back and forth. I can't decide. Now there are plenty of horrific things that have happened as a result of vaccines, like
And
all
some
these
good-
kids
and some really
dying.
good ones.
and some really good ones. And I am a firm believer and supporter in a lot of science, but I am very reserved when it comes to Western medicine. But that doesn't mean it doesn't work. I just can't put my faith in it because I don't know, and I just know that
Because you're a Buddhist.
so often someone's just trying to sell me something and they don't
Right.
actually want to do the right thing. They want me to spend my money.
That's the thing. Is like
Ones that are
this.
proven to work.
The science of vaccines is good, but the application has been pretty irresponsible, if not fucking actually sinister.
Right. And there's plenty of evidence of sinister happenings that have come out after the fact. Like when Johns Hopkins University, we talked about this on the show, when they infected all those people in South America with diseases, saying that they were giving them vaccines, and they just infected them with syphilis and STDs.
Tuskegee experiments.
Yeah. Also, recently, the UK government was ordered to pay $90 million to victims of a swine flu vaccine, which caused permanent brain damage to over 800 children. So that kind of shit bums me out. Also, vaccines are the most likely way to create a super strain of a bacteria or a virus that's resistant to any way that you want to kill it, based on the way things mutate and evolve. So on
That's the most likely, isn't it? Like people not taking their antibiotics.
no.
I thought it was overuse of antibiotics. Yeah.
No, it's when because like you can take no, because they can give you an antibiotic for a certain disease, and you don't take enough of it, so the disease or the virus will learn to fight against it, so that when you pass it along to the next person, that medicine won't be any good for them because the virus will have learned how to fucking combat against it already.
Right. Well, and it's the same idea with vaccination too. When animals or people are vaccinated against a disease, it gives the disease the opportunity to mutate and overcome the way it's being vaccinated against. Vaccination happens on a much larger scale than antibiotic use with the organic transfer of a virus or a bacteria person to person. Whereas if a virus has mutated inside of a vaccine, that'll be distributed on a much larger scale. It's happened in our lifetime. The horse flu within our lifetimes, mutated from being a horse flu into being a dog flu. And that's where the canine influenza came from. It
The horse
mutated
flu, the
from
dog flu. It sounds like a
over-vaccinated
bunch of
horses.
fantasy to me.
It happened at a horse racetrack. That's where it happened, where they were over-vaccinating the
Nah,
horses.
I was saying like horses and dogs flying. None of you seem to catch that. Sorry.
Whoops. But, so vaccination is it's scary to me. Because also I think that it is possible to do a lot of really good things with vaccinations as long as you use them ethically and you don't overuse them and you don't,
Yeah, but how do you figure out as an average person out there what's safe and what isn't?
Yeah, I don't know. But, here's another thing that goes unutilized in a lot of ways. And I'm thinking mostly for dogs, because I used to work with dogs and keep vaccination records on like hundreds of dogs. But they have something called a titer, where if you like get a vaccination and you're supposed to get it boosted at one point, you can get a titer instead, where they just measure your resistance based on the last vaccination you got. So you could get
That's bullshit.
You're supposed to get a rabies shot every 3 years.
No, you're
Well,
not.
after 3 years, you can go get a titer instead and find out whether or not you need another rabies shot. But people don't utilize that option. They just get another rabies shot, or
How
they
do
get
they-
another tetanus shot, or they.
What
It's
is
a blood
that?
test. It's some medical. They take blood and then they tell your results come back on a piece of paper. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know how it works. I didn't work at a vet. I worked at a daycare, so
I got you,
I was
yeah.
just used to analyzing that data, but I don't really know how it works. And then also, okay, so where are we with vaccines cause autism? Does anybody know?
As far I don't know, I've heard a lot about that. Supposedly, from what I've heard, most existing science disproves that, but I don't really know for certain. That's just what I hear.
I think there were some initial studies that heavily implied that was true, and then that's kind of since been made less credible.
Yeah, and then I've seen even more recently than that new studies in other countries have found links, but nothing from the United States has conclusively
I
done
think it
that.
was one of those people, or it was one of those things that it was during a period where a lot of us and a lot of people all at once were really swept up in this like social action trend where we were like kind of crying out about everything at once.
Yeah.
And I think that may have been one of the ones that was a little little fucky.
My sister actually runs a company that deals with kids with autism.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
But the rates are going up quite a bit.
Well, see, the thing
Isn't
is,
there links to aluminum too, though? And aluminum in the soil is increasing and shit?
The other
mercury and fish.
Mercury.
vaccines.
Okay, sure.
But the other problem you have to remember, especially with a condition like autism that occurs on a very, very wide spectrum,
They
the
just find
cases
it's increasing,
may-
so you just link it to anything else that's increasing.
Well,
Right,
when did we
and
find out
also
about
it,
autism?
it may not even be increasing, just the diagnosed cases
Right,
of it
they're
may be
able to
increasing
diagnose it
because
better.
there's a
We're-
higher
Ah,
awareness.
we're,
yes.
we're realizing
Yes.
that there's. I mean, because
Right.
back in the day, it would have been, that person's a dummy. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But
Right.
now it's like, yo, that person has autism. So
Can you get a little closer to your mic?
Yeah,
We're having
you gotta
trouble
really
hearing
Hello?
you really gotta eat
Yeah.
the mic, or
Sorry.
you're
Just
not gonna
have-
sound
let
good.
it touch your lips.
Yeah,
Perfect.
all right.
But
eat the
But
mic.
I
they
think
say.
that's a-
I heard somebody say that recently.
that's a common that's a common tactic that people use to say, oh, well, this is increasing. Well, we don't know if the occurrence is increasing or if the diagnosed cases are. Now, the diagnosed cases are, but it may not mean that the overall percentage of people or the overall probability of a child developing autism is actually increasing.
Right.
There needs to be more study, man. When I go into a motherfucking gas station and they ask me for $1 or some shit, I'd like to see that on the list.
Autism.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What do you? What does that mean?
To study it, you know what I'm saying?
Like
Not just-
where they ask for a donation. Like, oh, donate for this cause.
Would you like
Oh,
to give
okay.
$1 for?
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were just talking about some guy asking
Some
you for $1. Like, man, why aren't they fucking counting that shit? Count those guys up, man.
They clearly have autism.
See where my tax dollars are going.
Well, and that's the other thing, too, is that recently the definition of autism has been changed because it used to be that autism was different from Asperger's and was different from other behavioral disorders, but instead they took all of these things and just put them
They're all
on the
in
autistic
spectrum. Yeah, the spectrum disorder. Yeah.
So under that umbrella, it might indicate as well that more people are being diagnosed with autism, whereas before they may have been diagnosed with a different branch of autism.
Yeah.
It's weird
Man,
though.
that hurts a lot right on the elbow.
Oh yeah.
Yikes.
That's-
Don't be a little
sounds
bitch about it,
terrible.
dog.
Damn.
Yeah, listen to Nate though. He's right. Don't,
I'm not.
Don't be a little bitch about it.
I only
dog.
winced. I only winced 6 or 7 times.
I wonder if the listeners can tell that you're getting your tattoo. Besides the buzzing, you know what I mean? I can't tell because I know you're getting the tattoo, but
But I'm just too fucking tough.
but what do you? I
Too
mean, what about
hardcore.
you? See, and this is actually something that I've talked about with David Box before too. That
Oh,
if,
good for
if
you.
we had children, would we vaccinate them? And
I know that's a weird one. Would you send them to public school? Would you vaccinate? There's a lot of questions now that used to be our parents would trust the system a lot more, and
Yeah.
and it was of course we're going to do that, But vaccinations. If I had a kid, I would probably actually do more research.
yeah, me too. That's
Well-
kind of the conclusion we were able to come to. Is
But
like
there
we
is a
would
part
just
of me-
have to learn about it.
There
but-
is a part of me that just goes like, the basic ones probably should. You know what I mean? Because we do have a much better quality of life now. I mean, there's something to be said for the fact that we have a really poisonous healthcare system, but we have and a pharmaceutical system.
And our food's
moreover,
all fucked up.
and our food's all fucked up. However, we've doubled our lifespan in the past 100 years.
Yeah.
So I mean,
which is a really good point.
it's all a very complicated thing, and I'm starting to get, I don't know, I'm starting to realize how many people I used to be fans of that were more just getting views and clicks off of the popular style of just going, they're out to get us with these fucking vaccinations and blah 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 and all that. It's like
Buy these seeds.
it's a much more complicated conversation.
Well, and the other part of it too is I hesitate to identify one side or the other because I don't know why, but it seems like when an anti-vaccination person and a pro-vaccination person have a conversation about vaccinations, they tend to get like incredibly brutal and like both sides are incredibly impassioned.
Well, you're talking about
and-
any issue where there's two camps that are kind of bred in the media.
Yeah, I don't know why,
They
but
do
I
that.
always
Nobody can
feel
argue
like
logically.
yeah, I don't know why, but I always felt like the vaccination movement in specific has had a very, very, very bitter and very polarized rivalry from the first time the idea was introduced.
Perhaps because it so directly impacts with children.
Yeah,
So
that's
maybe
probably
why
part
people
of
get
it.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely. But
Man,
I
I can't understand why people hate child molesters so
Hey,
much.
you know what? I have a question. George Bush passed a thing to where you can't sue pharmaceuticals. Are vaccines included in that shit, or
included in the pharmaceutical.
yeah, where you can't sue a pharmaceutical company?
That's a good question.
I didn't know about that.
Do
What is
you-
this, Nate? You got any more on that, or
Nah, bro.
It was a-
I'm a Gemini. I have very limited information. I know a lot of shit, but a little bit about
know a
that
lo-
shit.
I can vaguely recall a lot of stuff.
Yeah, man. That's just how it goes with me.
Yeah, February 24th, 2011. Can't sue drug companies for vaccine defects.
Oh, wow.
Ruled by the Supreme
So it
Court.
specifically pertains to vaccines, then, yeah.
Yeah. There's
fucked
another
up,
case that says that drug companies are exempt from lawsuits.
Like, I've heard a lot of people getting fucked up over that Gardasil shit.
Yeah,
That was a big one.
That was
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
And that was another one that was really aggressively marketed, too. And I don't know if other people
Right.
in this room noticed
Oh,
that
no,
because
it
it was
was.
marketed
What
towards
was that-
people like me.
girls.
Yeah,
were,
girls, but they were trying to get boys, too.
Yeah, even though that's unnecessary.
And
but
what was happening? I know there was some deaths, but
Mm-hmm.
it was like a lot of sterility or something, or
People were
what
like,
do they call it in women?
No,
I think
people
it's
were having
sterility.
brain
Barren.
damage.
You're barren.
A lot of people were having brain damage from that shit too.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah. Like straight
spell
fucking your
Gardasil.
ass up, man.
It was like an anti-HPV thing or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a human papilloma virus vaccine.
And they tried to. There was that was one of the things. I think Rick Perry was governor in Texas, and tried to come out and say that it was mandatory for girls.
Yeah,
like
they
13
tried to make it
to get Gardasil injections or some
Texas
shit or
gets
whatever
its
they are,
dough.
pills or whatever.
They're injections, I think.
Yeah. And he just came out and lied in the media and said like this is a law now. You know, you've got to do that.
Yeah, you have to have this done.
Yeah.
No, and a bunch of people ended up dying. They tried to sue and nothing worked. So, pretty disgusting. Ew, and how can you even tell somebody that they have to get that done?
No, and then a guy like that still has a career in politics too. I mean, the whole thing is
Yeah.
just unbelievable. Like the fact that we're not just rioting in the streets in every fucking city is pretty fucking unbelievable. It really
You guys
is.
ever see the commercial with Clinton and Bush when Haiti got fucked up by that hurricane or whatever? Was
No,
it a
pull that up,
earthquake? And they're like, don't send your blankets and water. Just send your cash. And you know how many years has it been? 3-4 years since that. And they haven't put a fucking dime towards Haiti from all that texting money and shit, and nobody's calling them motherfuckers out on it.
Is that true?
That is
I
true.
know a lot of people want to send blankets or water. Just send your cash.
Just send your cash.
One of the things that
Dummy.
President will do is to make sure your money is spent wisely.
Fuck you. You fucking
Water.
Wow.
Send your cash.
Holy shit.
yeah.
A lot of people
Oops,
wanna
I still
send
playing Rocket Man.
blankets.
Ain't that? And nobody gives a shit. You know what I'm saying?
No.
It's fucking depressing as shit. Like, oh yeah, here's some money. I want to help for the cause. Here you go, Clinton and Bush, people that were our fucking presidents, and now you did nothing with the money.
Yeah, the people of Haiti just want American currency.
Wait, so that money's just
Oh, I'm sure they did something with the money.
yeah.
The thing was, I
They
heard
bought a
they
bunch
wanted,
of Thai kids,
They wanted to build a bunch of
raped them
fucking
with fireplace
hotels.
pokers.
They wanted to build a bunch of hotels along the coast, and then that's how they were gonna put Haitians to work and shit like that. You know, tourist resort to help Haiti.
Oh yeah, that works so well in Belize and Colombia.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Please come here, please.
an American hub to move their drugs. That's all any president ever wants. That's
Especially
awesome.
those guys. I mean, obviously the Bushes have been involved in drug running for fucking 50 years at
So-
this point. but-
Yeah.
With something like that is like blatant proof that they're not fucking doing a goddamn thing for anybody. And for that motherfucker to go ahead and sign something that says you can't sue motherfuckers that shoot your kids up. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What the fuck
Like
are we
I said,
doing here?
the fact that we're not rioting in the streets in every fucking city is amazing.
Yeah.
We just need some antidepressants. I'm depressed.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
your kid
Pump me
has
full
too
of
much
something.
energy.
Yeah.
Let's give him some drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we need to control your blood pressure. It's going to literally destroy your brain,
Yes.
but that's just
that's
part
cool.
of it.
Either
right?
you're
Your
going
blood
to
pressure,
kill me
yeah.
or it's going to make your head explode.
Yeah.
Oh, let's give you some drugs.
And people still take it. People still say,
Fuck yeah.
give me that.
Well, my old
Medication,
man,
you know that-
was like, you know, he was a fucking maniac, you know, and he was the kind of dude that would get pissed off enough to where I'd say if you pissed him off with the right thing, he'd fucking murder you.
I could take him.
And the guy, let me go get my pops. Hold on.
Let's call him up and talk shit to him.
like, he's probably drunk right now. I wouldn't want to talk to him. But I'm
did
saying he started taking antidepressants and shit. Now he's like, that shit really helped. I don't give a fuck about anything. And he's really cool about whatever, It's fucked up, man.
Is he?
Yeah.
It stole his testicles. I don't know.
You think so?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I was on antidepressants for about a week in high school, 2 weeks maybe, just long enough that they kicked in for a few days, and because it takes a minute for them to build up in your system to where you're a total psycho. And I was 2 or 3 weeks, maybe 3 weeks at the most, and I remember just feeling like this like sort of weird like amphetamine happiness. It just didn't seem right. It was like
It felt fake.
Yeah, right. You could tell you were on a drug. Because
Right.
I've done a lot of drugs, and you could just fucking tell that you were on a drug. You know, just didn't seem good. It wasn't like it didn't seem like an answer, and I stopped taking it almost immediately. And they tried to prescribe me. My parents took me back to the same stupid doctor, and the guy's like, "Well, how did you feel?" And I like kind of tried to describe it and why I didn't like it, and he's like, "Well, let me try this other one. This actually doesn't have those same effects and blah blah." It's just some bullshit. I'm like, "Nah, dude," and I just refused to take anything else. I'm like, take me to a weed dealer, Mom and Dad. That's all I need. Actually,
Smoke a little weed.
Mom and Dad,
Stress.
I know you guys got some weed. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Hook me up. Hook me up so I don't have to wait till you go to work to steal it.
Yeah. Well, and you know what's really scary is I, as an adult, have done Adderall recreationally multiple times.
Oh, yeah.
Enough to really understand the effects that it has on my brain. Enough to know how it makes me feel when I take it more than one day in a row, and how it makes me feel when I take it occasionally. And it's scary. That's a great tattoo you got going there.
Yeah, we're not done yet. I just gotta. The way I have to sit in order to get to my mic, the way we set this up, I have to like sit in the most shitty backwards with my arm twisted around
it
way.
looks really
With then
uncomfortable.
like my wrist twisted another 90 degrees.
Yeah.
I'm
Just,
going
like,
trying to
pressed in the
tattoo
table.
this way too. This is not easy.
I know, this looks terrible.
I feel like the Joker. Remember in Batman, the one with Michael Keaton. Remember
dude,
the
this is
Joker's
gonna
fucking doctor
Dude.
who's like, "You see some materials I have to fuck with." That's how I feel right now.
Dude, if I'd have known you were doing this, I'd have brought my motherfucking massage table. That's what's up. That would have
God
worked.
Damn it, Nate.
I
I could have just hung all my limbs off of it. You could just tattoo my arms and legs. And I could sit under the table and just tattoo whatever I hang through the hole.
Yeah.
He gave me 3.
Anyway, the point I was getting at with the Adderall is when you think about the way it affects an adult brain, and you put that same effect into a more impressionable young mind. I mean, even I don't feel like I have a personality when I take it.
Well, you don't.
Like, things are
anyways.
funny, and yes, I do. Things are funny, but I
Just
don't.
proved it again.
I don't want to create things. I want to focus on a task and get something done. It like literally makes you feel like a drone. Like,
You're
I need
more
to do this
complicit.
job.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're more
yeah.
complicit to do shit. Like my son, he's already like at a point to where, like, he's eating something that he don't fucking like. He'll let me know. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
He goes
Then do you want
nuts
like
over that
wood
shit.
grain on the handle?
Sure. A little bit of wood grain might be nice.
Give him some fucking Adderall, and that boy will be like, you know what? This is fucking delicious. I don't know what it is. I don't give a fuck. It's tasty.
Yeah.
Give me some more.
I used to like triple C's. Did you ever take those?
No, I stayed away from the alphabet drugs.
No, these are Coracetin, cold, and cough.
Oh, I knew of them. I knew enough people who took them to know
Yeah.
not to.
Yeah, fucking A.
Nate, did you ever do those?
Nah, I've had homies that have.
This was a thing in high school that we called it tripping. It really wasn't. It was just a bad poison reaction. Just like it was bad. It would take fucking like 3 boxes of these things, you know? You get like sorry, we're losing power over and over on our thing. Oh, there we go. I don't know. So you would go to the store, and the thing about it was when you had no money for real drugs, you could steal these pretty easily because they were just in the tall fucking aisle
Yeah, you
of
can't
all the
anymore.
medicine. No, I know now you can't just take shit like that. But they were just in the tall aisle with all the medicine, and you'd go in there and grab a couple of boxes for you and your couple friends, and you'd each take like 24 of these fucking cold pills. Like literally 24 of them. And then you'd wait about an hour and have a beer or two. And you would be fucked up for 2.5 days. It was fucking insane. It
My
was
brother and his friends
insane.
used to do that.
Yeah, and you'd be sick,
What was the
thrown up.
What was the purpose of them? Though?
You were just out of your head, dude.
No,
It
I
was
mean,
like,
but what were they? Other than
oh,
getting
cold
fucked
and
up?
cough pills.
Oh, that's it.
yeah.
Yeah, it was cough medicine.
Cold and cough pills. It's basically just
was
cough
it full
syrup.
of like
and-
dextromethorphan?
Probably, dude. We were not even smart enough to look at the ingredients
Quart
and
of
figure out
Sweeden.
what was doing it to us.
Yeah, robo tripping and shit. Hey.
No, so this shit was.
I robo trip, but I ain't did triple C's.
You
I
never
drank
did?
a lot of Robitussin. I will say that.
Yeah, the
Hey.
triple C's were like you would, and they had this disgusting sweet candy coating kind of on them. So then, like any pill ever since that has that like sweet coating on it has that psychosomatic response where I just feel instantly fucking sick to my stomach.
I have always had an
But no, hang on, I want to talk
about.
about triple C's more. Nate,
Yeah.
you said you never did them?
I never did them, but
Dude,
I
you're talking-
have done dextromethorphan, which apparently is the main ingredient to
Okay.
get you fucked up in that shit.
I mean, and it would last like well into the next day. I'm not shitting you. You'd go to work the next day, still in this out of body
Feeling fucking weird.
frame of mind. Yeah.
Yeah, dextromethorphan.
Is that it?
DXM, yeah.
All right, I'm saying that all stupid. Regardless. I remember the first time I did that shit, I watched Hostel. What a fucking crazy experience. I'll never do that
Yeah,
again.
that doesn't
When they
sound
cut
fun.
the fucking guy's Achilles heel,
No.
his Achilles tendon.
No, actually, I'm sorry. It was
Oh my God.
Hostel,
No.
Hostel 2.
Oh, okay.
Is the one I
When they
watched.
fucking
So
burn the
uncomfortable.
girl's eye out with a blowtorch and it's just hanging out and fucking all pussy.
That is
Bad.
so much nicer
my
to me
God.
than
Memories.
thinking about getting my Achilles tendon sliced.
Yeah, I'd way rather have my eye burned out, honestly.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely. 100%.
Then at least you might still be able to run away.
Yeah.
What the fuck y'all talking about? I love my eyeballs, man.
I don't not love my
I
eyeballs.
would rather lose a foot than an eyeball.
Ah.
Shit, man. I'll peg leg that shit. I don't give a fuck.
I've never been able to take cold medicine recreationally because it just makes me feel sick and shitty no matter what the circumstances.
Well, good, because that shit straight destroys. your
What
fucking
I don't
liver.
understand.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna die.
Like,
young.
how do you not
very
puke?
young?
Man.
Andrea, don't talk over me. I'm the host. I was just saying I'm going to die young. Now, okay, go ahead.
How do you not puke after you take that much cold medicine? Why doesn't your body throw it up? I feel like I would immediately start vomiting.
Oh, you're gonna throw up for sure. Yeah. No, I would throw up about 10 hours in at least, because you would drink too much. And what would always happen is you'd have 1 or 2 beers that would kick it in, and then you'd drink slowly and you'd maybe overdo it a little. It was 4 beers was overdoing it.
Yeah.
So, but by that time, your body's already processed the medicine fucking few hours in and stuff,
Yeah.
You're not puking anything of the pills out.
Right.
I had one
Those
experience.
dissolved. And hey, Veronica's back from Savannah, Georgia. Hello.
Hi, Veronica.
How do you
Hey
do?
guys, hello. I just wanted to talk about. I did it once, and yeah, we took the pill form, and it was like an interesting experience, but there was no desire to ever do it again.
Nah, you had to be a fucking kid that hated yourself to do it over and over. You had to be like we would fucking do that and play chicken in front of freight trains and fucking
my gosh.
punch each other in the face.
Oh,
We just
God.
wanted to die.
That's pretty fucked up. You'd play chicken because my most memorable part of my experience was that like I literally like my body was literally like a robot, like I
Yeah.
could barely move my muscles. They were all like seized up, and I was like taking forever to walk across the room. So that would suck to be playing chicken in front of a train during that state.
Nah, we probably didn't do it during the triple C's, but we definitely did a lot of fucking freight train chicken. That shit was not good. I
No,
came
that doesn't
real,
sound good.
really close one time, and that ended my career because I like swore to God I almost fucking felt the train on my foot, and everybody like thought I was gonna get hit and was like, I just waited that extra last moment longer than anybody ever had before,
Yeah.
and I won.
That's terrifying.
Fuck all that.
Yeah. There was another game we had to do push-ups, like a certain number of push-ups before a train would get there. Like you'd see a train coming, and like you would make a bet with somebody. Like, all right, I bet you, fuck $6. I
We
can
used
do
to-
35 push-ups before the train runs me over.
We used
my
to play a
gosh.
game with a
$6,
cracker.
Yeah. Hey, we were in 7th grade. $6 was
You ever play that
Yeah,
one?
that's a
Ben?
lot of money.
and that was 2 packs of cigarettes.
Dude,
back
I
then,
wouldn't
too.
even. I wouldn't even.
Sorry,
I wouldn't even snort pixie sticks unless
And
you
y-
was giving me $10.
And you guys ever have ever play the game with the cracker, where it's like you got a room full of guys and you all
Oh, where
jerk off,
everybody-
and the
no.
last
Whoa,
one
what?
to
What?
Oh,
That's
we used to do this a lot in grade school.
Ew, are you serious?
Oh,
I didn't think
yeah.
anyone ever actually played it. Like I've heard of this game before, and like I've heard of it as a thing that girls think that guys did at some
Oh,
point that they
well,
never
we
actually
really
did.
did it.
Like I've had girlfriends ask me like, "Did you ever play that?" I'm like, "No. What the fuck? Why would I do that?"
I don't
Like,
think I've ever heard this before.
I've played that at least 6 times in
where
my,
everybody
in
had
my
to
grade school
everybody had to
adolescence.
jizz. I know the game. Everybody has to jizz on a cracker, but the last one to jizz has to eat the cracker.
Yes.
What the fuck, yo?
Yeah.
I never had to eat the crackers, so I don't know.
Oh, you're a quick one, huh?
Well, I was never the
was real-
quickest, but it's pretty exciting,
Real
Yeah.
pleased with
What the
himself.
fuck are you talking about right now?
I found it pretty exciting. I don't know. I'm a sicko though.
What, Nate? You wouldn't be down to play that game?
You want to play it right now?
We should get that going right now.
You pull up some good fucking.
Well, I
porn
think the
and we'll
girls
see.
would probably lose. Takes them longer to squirt than it'll take any of us.
Enjoy
I,
these crackers, toots.
I never agreed to play this game.
You're no fuck all that.
No, I'm surprised. Okay, so how many? How large of a group? How many more people would be willing to do this at the same time?
Let's play bukkake on this cracker.
It was anywhere from
Sorry, hold on.
4 to 6 people, counting
4 to
myself.
6 people.
4 to 6.
That's a lot of goddamn jizz, bro.
It's a lot of dicks in one room. One room. One room. One
That-
room. One room.
4 to 6
my
people
Lord.
Oh my
jerking
god!
off on a cracker. God damn.
That had to be one
Matt's
soggy
done
cracker.
Matt's done a lot of weird sexual stuff that like I've never had any desire to do, but he's been around. Matt's gotten
I've
around a
never
little
even
bit.
Heard of that? Let alone thought
I'm
about
not
ever doing
promiscuous
it.
at all, though. For the record, really.
No, I'm not saying.
you're just adventurous.
Yeah, you've been very adventurous in your sexual explorations.
Sure,
that's
Yeah.
fair
to say.
I would say that's fair.
Being a human is interesting. The very strange things Matt does.
Matt Gear, look him up. Check
We're-
out his art. He's doing a tattoo
Yeah.
right now.
We're
on me.
almost done, Vin. But here's the problem now. I need fucking paper towels, dude.
I gave you some. Are we out?
You gave me 3.
That was it.
Uh-oh. Can't
Well,
get a tattoo without paper towels.
We'll figure something out.
But I'm almost done. Once we're done with you, we'll worry about it.
All right, well, how about we take a break?
Yeah.
I think we're about ready. We're playing some local music tonight. If we have listeners who would like us to share their music on the show, we're going to start playing more Friends in the mix and less things you've have no connection to.
But
Oh
you
my
have-
God,
You
so
have
send
to
us your
jizz
music.
on a cracker first.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you have to jizz on a cracker first, or else we're not gonna play your music.
Send
Get
us
that
your-
ass on down here.
Send us your music to SundayEveningOverdose@gmail.com. Make sure it includes a free download.
Yeah, we had a couple people who.
A couple of you retards just sent links to your stuff as though we're gonna figure it out ourselves. You fucking idiots.
We're
Just
dumb. In case you don't know.
No, we're not dumb. We just don't have time to go chase around the internet for wherever you decided to post your shit for free. So send us a direct link to wherever we can download your fucking music from. Stupid idiots, and we'll play it.
So here, we'll start this break off with some Dead Split Egos. So enjoy,
That's a cool
and
name.
we'll be back in a few minutes. This is No Justice, No Peace.
Because we're never special to be fed and fed like pigs. We're not coming to realize you're just full of shit. That's why.
You were 12?
Yeah, I was 12 when we were doing that cracker
So
shit.
he has not. He's
wanna
not
clear up,
eaten a
that is
jizz
not-
cracker since he was 12.
Yeah, that was more than 15 years ago.
Wait, I
But you
thought
said
he said he never
he
ate
said he
the
never ate the
cracker.
cracker.
No, I never ate the cracker. But
Well, which is it?
we never played. I have not played that game since I was
Fake
12.
saltines.
11 and 12 years old is when we did that.
Ugh.
And at the time I had barely even gone through puberty, so very little jizz was
That's
on this
pretty
cracker.
fucking. That's pretty hypersexual for 11 or 12. That's pretty nuts. I mean, I
I
know
was-
it's not out of the realm of what people talk about at all. But for me, we didn't even like have our first kiss going yet at like 11 or 12. Like,
Dog, I was beating my meat at 5 years old, bro.
were you really?
Fuck yeah. I was.
When'd you start? When'd you start coming though? Making cumsies.
I want to say when I was like 7 years old.
No way.
I swear to God, dude.
just clear.
I was fucking everything. I was like a
Ejaculate comes out.
rabid
So
dog, dude.
You were ejaculating, but it wasn't sperm. It
Yeah.
wasn't.
No, it probably wasn't, but it felt good. I know that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Shit.
God damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with Nate. I've been having orgasms since I was a little kid.
Did you get molested?
No, I just found out like, hey, I can touch myself and it feels awesome.
Nate, how about you? Touched or
dope.
what?
I started reading comic books, man. There's a lot of hot chicks in comics. Well,
Word.
cartoon chicks, but you know what I mean?
Okay.
See,
Word.
Matt knows what's up.
Fuck yeah.
And you got, see, I never read comic books, so I would have been touching way earlier.
Yeah, most likely.
Touching myself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that seems early.
I've had girlfriends that said they started masturbating at like 8, you know, but they were all molested.
Yeah.
Most of my girlfriends have been molested. Not my current one.
Are you sure?
Although I had my suspicions, but she says no.
Well, you have a type.
Yeah, definitely. The victim.
The victim, yeah.
So I went on a 26-mile bike ride today.
That's a long bike ride.
You guys know what that's like?
No.
Here's what it's like. It hurts really bad, but you see a lot of cool things, especially through here. So I'm riding through the Des Plaines River Valley, and it's a really fucking old area. And I was riding along the canal from like the Civil War era. You know, they built this canal, and what are we doing over here?
We're figuring out how to get the camera open back up. Just
Oh, okay.
swipe the camera in the corner, swipe it up. Yep.
Okay, there we
Done.
go. So I'm riding around by this canal, you know, that's like what, Andrew, can you look this up? When was the I&M canal built? I want to say 1883. Shortly after the Civil War sometime in that era. And so I rode, you know, like 15 miles, 16, 17, whatever miles down this trail. What is it?
1848. It was completed.
Oh, wow. Older than I thought. Okay. And so when you're around something that old and you just ride along, because like bike trails go through kind of like little unknown territory and nobody fucking hangs out there. You can go down little offshoot paths and stuff. And there's a ton of awesome fucking history that I saw today. Just like bridges from the 1800s, I guess from the, you know, the 1850s, you know, just crumbled old bridges, you know, that they built new bridges next to. But when you're standing there and you kind of hike down the path down by the river, you can really see, man, there's like so many relics of the past. It's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
And I did that for just 15, 16 miles, like I said. Saw all kinds of shit. Old fucking quarries, shipyards, old fucking like 100-year-old boats that are just retired and sitting on the ground, you know, just boats. Oh, boats that were in floods and are just caught up in trees and bushes and shit,
What?
just laying around. Fucking
Nuh-uh.
ancient rowboats just rotting away in a tree and shit. Yeah, I saw all kinds of cool shit today. I'm telling you, get out and take a bike ride, folks.
Yeah. Well,
Folks.
we've gotten
Smash your
poking
TV
around.
and live adventures. That's
Yeah,
what
dude.
I always say.
And it sounds stupid, but I just went. No, I usually ride this one trail, and today when I got to the end of the trail, I was like, you know, I always go back home at this point. Maybe I'll try going up this other fucking bridge and see what happens. So I go over this big ass bridge over the river, and then I see this other just gravel road. And I'm like, I wonder what's over there. And it just went on like that for another 2.5 hours. Just like, I wonder what's down this way. It just kept, and there just kept being a new way to go. I'm like, holy shit. I eventually look up for our Chicago audience. I start from fucking 294 and 55. This is going to sound like gibberish to anyone who doesn't understand, and I ended up out at like 355 and 127th Street. So
Yeah, that's a pretty good distance.
When I realized where I was, it was one of those things like, just imagine wherever you live, riding to a point where you just can't comprehend how far away from home you are, and you just feel cold and alone and scared. And my cell phone was dying. So I knew I only had like 10 minutes left of cell phone life because, of course, I was listening to music the whole time and shit. And so my cell phone was dead. I had 0 cents, not a fucking penny on me. I didn't have an ID. I didn't have a credit card.
Oh, God.
I had nothing. I had nothing. I had a 16-ounce bottle of water when I left. So by the time that I was like 16 miles from home, I had like a quarter of that bottle of water left. And I was rationing it in capfuls, you know, sitting down by a creek. And I kept smoking weed. That was probably stupid.
Yeah.
That kept making me more thirsty.
Wears
But,
you out.
Yeah. But man, it was fucking amazing. Just, I probably did what a normal person's like, like 3 times what I normally would do and what a lot of normal people do when they go out for a little bike ride. But that was like, it was just fucking cool what you can see going that far along something that old.
Yeah. We've gone poking around out there in the past, kind of along that canal. We found like
No such thing as time travel.
there's we found like old ship cables, I think we determined.
Dude, there's all
and-
kinds of shit.
I mean, there's like everything. It was like there was a thriving boating community that just then was taken by the woods, and everything's still out there. It's cool.
Yeah, there's all kinds of little tie-up spots and old fucking docks that are just crumbled away, and like whole, warehouses and buildings that used to be part of some thriving industry that are now just abandoned, and you just see their old like shipping ports and stuff out there.
Yeah,
just
the old brick outline.
plants growing out of them and shit, all creepy, and
Yeah.
Well, the other thing I saw today, turtles were out everywhere, and I don't know what that's about, but there were shitloads of turtles on logs. Like I would come around a corner, I'm not kidding. I would come around a corner, and there would be like 9 fucking turtles on a log.
That's all together?
Yeah, I'm not shitting you.
Yeah,
and
they're basking, yo.
They're
Maybe
just
they're your spirit animal.
yeah. And
They
they're-
were looking for you.
They're just basking out there, and I kept trying to creep up on them and take a picture, but they were fucking. As soon as you would get within 50 feet of them, they're just all plunk, 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 and then they're because they dive in order of size,
Right.
And and
Well,
then
because that's how they're stacked up.
right.
Yeah.
So then they would all poke their little noses out and go, "Oh, little turtles." And I couldn't get a good picture of them though, or else I
you-
would show you guys.
Do you often see turtles? Is that
No,
super weird?
that's why it was really weird. Yeah, because I mean, you'll
Because
see
I mean,
them.
9 turtles is weird no matter what. But
This is a very aquatic area. You know, when you live near the river, everything's a marsh. So like fucking 50 feet out of my yard is a marsh. So yeah, there's turtles around, but I've never seen that many turtles at once. Because I mean, I'm talking 9, 10 turtles here, 12 over here, 6 over here, like in a bunch of different spots. It was cool.
I love that.
Turtles are big this year. Turtles are back.
yeah, turtles are back.
Turtles are back in the canals.
For some reason, I feel like that's a good sign.
You most likely seen what is called a northern map turtle.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
You know a
Do
little
they
something
have
about
little red
turtles.
spots on their back?
No, they mostly had just come out of the water, so they just looked like dark. They just looked like black
Yeah.
almost.
Black. Were they big?
Yeah, they were decent size. None of them huge, but there were a lot of babies. Oh yeah. There were a lot of. That's right. There was a lot of tiny ones that could fit easily in the palm of your hand, and they were sitting in rows on the logs, and then like the bigger ones were on different logs in rows, and the big ones I would say were probably 6-7 inches across on their shell. Decent size.
That's a pretty good turtle.
Decent size. Not big though. That's not a big turtle.
I've got
That's not like a red-eared slider.
no. That's a
Now
big turtle.
that's a turtle.
Yeah.
I
We've
don't
got
know about
snakes
this
at
much
my
about
house.
turtles. Huh?
We have got snakes at my house. We don't have turtles. We just got a bunch of snakes.
Yeah, that's fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They seem nice. But they kind of just disappear into things.
My cat killed a snake the other day.
See, I like snake. Oh.
Yeah, he did. He was fucking throwing it up and down in the woods, and I saw him. I'm like,
Snake.
what do you have? And I go look out there, and the snake's throat is fucking slit
Oh.
right under its head, just like with a perfect claw strike.
No.
It's just throat is just cut, and it's just dead, and the cat's just gleefully just yay, just throwing it up and down.
A string.
Yeah.
A wiggly string.
And it smells like disease. Hum, hum, hum.
My favorite. Oh, I've got a pet snake, so I automatically love all the wild parasitic snakes that I see disappearing into my rocks in my yard.
There's snakes all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
Most people don't realize.
I wish I had turtles instead.
Especially in the government.
Oh, snakes in the government. You want to know what those assholes just did?
What did they do?
The House of Representatives passed a bill 14 hours ago to ban abortions after 20 weeks of pregnancy.
I'm with it.
I
You're
knew
with
we'd,
it?
we'd get something going here.
Motherfuck that. No.
There's a lot of
Fuck that.
Yo,
okay, that
yo,
is
shit.
Yo, there's a
No.
lot of gay folk that want to adopt kids. Quit killing babies.
that is
Alright.
if it was just about that. Okay, I'm not even gonna get into the debate about is it a baby or not. I don't even want to go there.
You're a baby, bro.
Maybe I am. Maybe I am. But look, we cannot, as a society, like that's such a complicated issue. Just to blanket.
No, it's not.
We have debate. All right, and all of you have agreed on this show that we shouldn't be legislating and making more laws. Well, here's more
I agree
laws.
with
You
that.
should.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm
Nate,
with it.
I was kind of. Here's the thing. I kind of started off like you when we talked about this earlier, because I'm always like, abortion creeps me out. I can't get over the fact that I just think it's wrong in a lot of cases, and everyone's always gonna have the. Hey, what if I get raped by my dad and he's also retarded? And you're like, okay, well, I guess you can have an abortion. And you know what I mean? It's like it's one of those things. And like we were talking.
Yeah, but look, if you're getting raped by your dad and he's retarded, you ain't waiting no fucking 20
That's
weeks, man.
what I said. But then they said,
What if you don't know you're pregnant?
there you go.
There you go.
What are you, a dumb fucking dumbass?
It
I just
happens.
got raped. I'm not gonna take a pregnancy
Your
test.
average 12-year-old girl
No, but
might
you know
not
what it
assume
is?
that she's pregnant when she doesn't feel well after being molested by her dad for years.
But it's not.
Yeah.
It's not only that. It might be that she's too scared to come forward until
That
after 5
too.
months. Now that's where it gets into the tricky
or her
part for
family's
me.
very religious, and they would blame her or stone her to death. There are families here in America
No,
that do
man, no,
shit
ain't-
like that. That
can't
have
die.
honor
Who you talking about?
Honor
Like
and
a
killings.
0.00001%
Okay,
of
well,
motherfuckers
but
stoning
that it's
motherfuckers?
still
What are you talking about?
it's
Who
just it's
stoned
not
somebody
our
to death?
part. I mean,
that's never
dude,
happened in
okay.
the U.S.
Just historically, cut all the bullshit feelings out of it, right?
Yo,
Hold on, let him finish.
all right.
Historically, any countries that have made it illegal, just like anything else, crops up a black market, and then you've got young women.
Hey, look,
hurting
I think it's fair to
themselves.
say white people are getting abortions too.
Oh yeah, they are.
It's pretty even across. Yeah.
It's pretty.
He said black
just-
market, dog, not black people. What the fuck are you talking about?
Seriously,
That was-
no, seriously though.
That was
like,
the joke.
historically-
Yeah. That was the joke. Everyone
Oy.
caught on.
Nah, seriously, man.
No, but it
Even
is-
That,
it-
look,
here's the thing.
I go to McDonald's and I see, and I'm gonna be fucking mean as hell, but I see retards wiping down tables at McDonald's and shit.
Damn, that pisses me
why
off.
doesn't that motherfucker, maybe he was a baby of a rape victim and shit like that, dude. And some of these people are sweethearts.
No,
you
you
know what I'm
don't
saying?
become
Why fucking
retarded
just-
from being conceived from a rape.
You guys were just saying that
But a
the
lot of-
dad was retarded.
But
you
a
know
lot
what
of
I'm saying?
okay, I see. Yeah, but a lot of retards do rape people, so it's fair enough.
Yeah, man, with
Go
that
ahead.
retard strength and
Right.
whatnot.
Bunch of Lennies running around
Well,
grabbing women
let's
by
just
their hair.
examine,
go,
let's
George.
just examine countries where it's illegal. Let's see how well that's working
Yeah,
out.
let's get on track here. Let's
Yeah.
get to the real debate.
It's like Singapore where drugs are illegal and they just executed a bunch of people for selling drugs. It's like drugs have been illegal and have carried that sentence forever. Has it worked? Fuck no, because
Yeah,
they're
but
still
we're
doing
not
it.
executing
man, we
people
needn't
for
go any.
abortions,
We
man.
needn't go any further than the U.S. of A. for that analogy.
Exactly. And abortion is the same thing. And frankly, I don't even think it's a men's issue. I don't know where we get off thinking we have any say in this. It's a
I do
woman's
have
Oh,
choice.
shut
Don't
up.
you fucking
It's a
tell
woman's
me, bro.
body.
Who cares?
Let
It's a
her
woman's
decide.
body, and she let me all up in it. I
Right.
have a part in that now. Fuck
Well,
you.
And
I mean,
also,
but
and also, just
You're
because
forgetting all the other cases that aren't consensual sex.
that's,
Or
but
there's just a lot of gray
You haven't
areas.
been raped
you
by a
guys.
woman, dog? Don't you fucking tell me.
I've been used by women. Yes.
that argument is so absurd to me. It seems like it seems like just an elitist way of thinking. It's like, you can't comment on whether or not something is moral because you
are.
don't have
Look,
the
but
same body
basically,
parts. I
no
mean, that's
matter
just a
what-
weak
okay,
to
fine,
me. That's
fine,
just
fine.
a weak way of thinking. I don't know.
Okay. No, you're right.
I
You're
don't
right.
like it.
I'm gonna agree with you on that and
Thank
say
you.
I retract that statement. But let
All
me
right.
say this. It's never right to blanket laws that say, okay, this you can no longer do when it's something that A, doesn't affect you. The science proves, historically anyway, that it just doesn't work out if we don't allow this to happen. There's a lot of good and perfectly legitimate reasons for it. And hence, that is why you cannot just blanket make it illegal. Eric,
No.
will you fucking...
Man, no, hold on now. Can we all admit we
Hold
have a
on
bunch
now.
of fucking degenerates running around in this country? A bunch of young kids that don't give a fuck about
They should have been
anything and
aborted.
Yeah.
just- Nah, fuck
Good
that, man,
point,
'cause
Nate.
yeah, I didn't even make that point.
I'm with
saying-
Nate. Let's abort everyone.
Kill
Nate
them
for
all.
president.
Yes. Death.
Let's abort
Nah.
everyone.
No, Nate. You know what? I have the same I have the same initial like repulsion for the thought of abortion. I'm like a revol. Wait, what did I say? I'm
Repulsion.
repulsion, revulsion. I'm repulsed, and I initially I always want to argue against it, and I still say that I think it's fucking abused. I think everyone agrees on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think culturally it's dangerous when it's considered by so many people as a fallback option.
Yeah, exactly. I
To
feel
irresponsibility,
like
you know, and it's
my
like-
personal opinion. It's okay, but it has to be fucking scrutinized. And that individual, that particular individual,
hang on.
needs to be scrutinized.
Now
man.
here we go, because here's the issue. Me and you typically don't feel that way about any other issue. That we typically don't want any government scrutinization because we see what a fucking dangerous snowball effect that normally
Yeah.
is. Like, to me, I don't want any new gun legislation ever because I just view it as a dangerous snowball thing.
Yeah,
that
but
can
man,
happen.
I'm not
So
talking.
why don't you
I'm
feel
not
the same
I'm
way?
talking about like small community, man. I'm not talking about fucking Nancy Grace getting in on some shit. Number one, fuck that cunt.
Uh-huh.
Number two, children are raised by a community. You know.
Well, where are you going with this?
Pogo's too
Yeah.
polite for this. Eric, say something.
I was
please.
just kind of curious, like where you were going with like the individual scrutiny of just like is this
Individual
like
scrutiny, local courts, local people, local jury.
So you should have to go to a court to
Court to
decide
get
if you
an
can get an
abortion?
abortion.
Yeah, fuck. You should just go and get one.
It's
What
a
the fuck?
medical
Nobody's
procedure.
business.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Do you have to go to a
Nobody's
court for like?
business?
So if you want a penis enlargement, you should have to go to a court and say, well,
I
here's
don't
what
think
I want.
that's not a
that's-
fair
dude,
analogy.
apples and oranges,
Hold on,
bro.
I'm going to come in as the arbitrator here, or I mean the mediator, the arbitrator of the will of this conversation. I'm going to come in as the mediator here. I'm going to say that's not a fair analogy.
Fair enough.
Foul.
foul.
Yeah, I mean because it's not. It's
think-
when you're talking about now. Here's where it always comes to the issue of if you think that you're killing a living thing or not, which I never understood how you don't think that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like once the sperm.
Ever dissected a pig fetus?
No.
Pigs
I have
aren't.
in science class.
Hold
and
on,
it's
that's not even picking
different.
up very
Pigs
well.
aren't people, bro.
Yeah,
They
but
ain't people, man. Unless you want to fuck a pig, would you fuck a pig?
Actually, the pig's
Would you
fetus
fuck a
and a
pig,
human
bro?
hold on.
fetus
Let's
are
try
the
to stay on.
exact
Let's try to
same.
stay on track here.
That's science.
That's science. Would you fuck a pig?
That's not science.
That's science, dog. Would you fuck a pig?
If I had to fuck an
How is-
animal, pig would be high in the running.
How is
Dude,
It's got
just because
some-
a
it's got
heart,
some
just because hearts
human-looking
are
haunches.
similar, man.
I've seen some pigs with some nice round haunches. No, but so I'm gonna say,
I
you
just
know,
ain't with
looking at it as a clinical medical procedure doesn't seem fair to me either. I think it's if we're gonna discuss it fairly from either side, you have to agree that the other side feels really strongly that it's not that simple. Well, either perspective you have, you know what I
Yeah.
mean. So I think if Nate's willing to make the concession that there are cases where it's right but he thinks there should be scrutinization, then we should make the concession that maybe it's not to be treated like a completely just clinical unsupervised thing. I don't know. What do you think, Eric?
I mean, I don't know. I still just think it's like a medical process, and like it's not something. I mean, I understand like the concern with like abuse, like people like abusing that, using it too often, but at the same time, that's also a medical procedure that takes its toll on like the people like doing it. So I mean, it's not just like I don't know. It's something that I don't
You
know.
know what?
To me, it's like-
I
it's a medical
completely,
procedure.
I recant. You saying that, I recant. I recant my statement. You know, there are a lot of dumb motherfuckers out there. You want to go fucking kill your offspring? I'm with it. Go ahead, motherfucker. I don't give a fuck
It's
about
true,
your ass.
and you have to remember the trickiest part about making legislation regarding abortion is that you cannot write in all of the excusable cases because there are so many different reasons and so many different circumstances and so many different points at which these things occur.
Did we get some pictures
That,
of Matt giving me this tattoo?
Yes.
Nate?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Um,
Put those up for everybody.
But you can't write those things into the legislation. For me personally, I would never, would have never, and will never get an abortion unless it threatens my own life.
You know what?
But I think that every single person in the world
Is
should
entitled.
have access
Well,
to a
here's where we
safe way
get
of doing
the
it.
option if you
So,
Yeah.
so
you know
Nate,
what?
equate it-
Another issue of mine is though. At what point does the government say they can abort motherfuckers? You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's a
And if we
slippery slope
become,
thing with the
uh,
scrutinization because that's where you lead with a panel that decides who can and who can not
Well,
be
the
aborted.
panel is the peers. That's the idea of a jury. Is
Well,
is
and that
the
works so
peers.
well for us now.
No,
you
your
know?
neighbors, dude. Your fucking neighbors, bro.
but
not
that's
the government.
No, but
Nobody
a jury,
that sits
well,
on a jury is in the government.
But like, do you
I
have to
know.
like ask like your neighbor's like position, like if you're going to be getting like an abortion? Like, I don't understand like how that really becomes
no,
anybody
your
else's
neighbors,
concern.
dude. Your neighbors know you, man. You don't think your neighbors know you? They can
No,
hear
they
you
have right-
fucking
every
a
right-
bitch through the walls. if you
Sure,
live
but
in an
like, do they
apartment.
have the right to make decisions regarding your like your medical decisions for you? I just don't see how they factor in.
Yeah, and plus, Nate, if you think about it, like, because I don't like the idea of abortions, and I for me, it would never be a thing I would want to do. But
No,
I have to say, when you factor this in, think about this. Every country where they do have a national ban on abortion, it becomes a giant black market industry
Yeah.
where a lot of people are fucking hurt,
Which
you
is
know?
unsafe and a
And,
lot
yeah.
of people,
little
yeah.
fetuses all over some coat hangers in a closet.
Exactly.
I'm with it, but
Yeah, I mean,
you
so-
know, like I said, I recant, dude. You know, fuck it, man. People want to do that kind of thing. Cool, as long as it's fucking cleanly. Nobody else is getting fucked up by that shit. It's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay,
I'm
so
cool with that.
what do you guys-
The practice needs to be scrutinized at that point to make sure that
that
people
it's-
are safe.
Yeah. Okay.
You know,
yeah, I agree
the
with
public
you there.
is
Yeah.
safe. I'm with that. But
It needs to make sure that it's done
there's
cleanly,
there's a
cleanly, and
line
safely.
that I fucking draw when the government starts getting involved with people being killed because of whatever. Like when
this
fucking
elbow
Romans
shit
were
fucking
throwing
hurts.
babies off the fucking cliff. You know what I'm saying?
How do you feel about the morning after pill, Nate?
How do I feel about the morning after?
Yeah, because it's not really necessarily the morning after that you have to take it. It can be taken
No, I'm
far.
co-
So,
I'm-
like, you're still doing the
72
same thing.
hours.
It's just not a medical thing.
I'm cool with
How
that.
do you feel about that?
The difference
I'm cool
in
with
that
that.
is that the morning after pill makes it so that an embryo could never attach and start to
Right.
grow.
Right.
All
Right.
you're doing is creating an inhospitable
Yes.
environment
Yeah.
for a fertilized egg.
Right, exactly.
So,
and
is
I'm
it
cool
different?
with that.
Yes.
Well, you fucking bleed an egg every fucking month, right? Come on, that's cool.
Oh, damn.
Actually,
That's
just the
cool.
lining
You know what
of
I'm
the
saying? That's your
vagina
body
cleansing
doing its
itself.
thing, and you just kind of helped it. I'm cool with that kind of shit. And you know what? I straight up changed my mind. I love kids. I don't want to see some
Yeah.
kid that has potential to never get that fucking chance. That's all.
Right. No,
You know,
and
it's nothing malicious towards anybody. It's just I love life, dude.
Right.
I love
Yeah.
my life. I love looking at my girl, my kid. You know, my friends. Everybody's fucking beautiful. You know, a lot of people do cool shit.
Word.
There's a lot of people that do bad shit, but I don't hold them against them. They still stand the chance of fucking doing something good. You know what I'm saying?
So
Well,
you're
I don't
saying it's
want-
like in your heart, you feel like when it comes down to it, you always want to give life a chance,
I wanna
even
give
if
life
it
a
seems like
chance.
the odds are stacked against them. It's like,
Yeah, man.
give it a shot. You know,
Shit can fucking really pull through against the weather. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I agree. I absolutely agree. And I
That's
don't
all.
want anybody to interpret my pro-choice stance as a lack of a value for life, because
No,
that's not
well,
it at all.
when
But
you- when
I
you-
value choice.
As long as somebody can listen to you reasonably, then
Right.
It's cool, you know. But there are some unreasonable people out there, you know.
Vinny's showing off his new tattoo.
Tattoo's done.
Tattoo's done. It looks
good.
great.
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice job, Matt.
But no, you're
Thank
right,
you.
Nate. And I don't. The people who are going to abuse the system are a casualty of the freedom to choose,
But if
and
they
not
are-
the reason
Now
to have
that I'm
it.
thinking about
Yeah,
it, if they
yeah.
are gonna abuse the system, well, they might as well fucking disconnect their lineage. You know?
Yeah,
What
and
are
they
you gonna
hurt
do? What are
themselves
you
too.
honestly gonna do for me at some point? You
And
stand the chance of doing something good, but
Well, now
it's
this
up
is
to
where,
you to
so
make that choice.
This is what I wanted to ask is, so we all agree kind of that I guess it's better to have people be able to do it for all of the necessary times and let the fucking bad people get away with what they're going to get away with, whatever. Some of us maybe disagree that it's ever bad, but we can all at least agree on that. So how about what bothers me is the mass amount of people that just have it in the back of their mind as like a fallback option all the time, so they can just kind of fuck whoever they want to fuck and just not have to think about shit. And then when that backfires and they get pregnant, they just have an abortion, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And not that a lot of people just take it that lightly, but there are a lot of
pretty
people
much
who do
guilty
that.
of
You know?
I bet
yeah, yeah.
everybody knows somebody personally
use
who has
condoms ever.
handled their lives that way. But an abortion is not. It's not like the same thing as having a period every month. It is a
Straight.
violent
I
act
always-
against the
medical
I always
body.
point
It
out
is.
that actually, if you
And
believe
it does
in God,
cause
God's
cause
the biggest
mental
abortionist.
issues.
You guys can't talk over each other.
Sorry.
Sorry about that.
No,
If-
God would be the biggest abortionist. I just wanted to point out there are more miscarriages every year than
That's
there
true.
are
Yeah,
ever
but that's a thing you
abortions.
can say to religious
So
people.
then,
We're not
aren't we doing
religious. We
aren't
don't
we
give a
doing
shit. Like,
God's work then?
no, I mean, who cares?
I'm a
We're
little bit
arguing
religious.
actual morality here, you know.
I'm a little bit religious, and man, that's God's choice, dude. If you come down to God, you want to talk about God. I don't feel God
No.
has the same fucking understanding that we do. He's on a whole different plane, dude. Murder, death, whatever.
I don't
mean,
believe
don't
in a
mean thing to him.
monotheistic God.
I do.
Here's a number for
I
you.
don't know what he is, but
2/3 of all fertilized eggs are naturally aborted by the female body. 2/3 of all conceived pregnancies are naturally done away with by the female body. So
Well, you guys are naturally immoral, and there should be legislation banning you.
can't we make
Well,
that
Banning
illegal?
women for that.
science is
Yeah, but
pretty
that's
dope, man.
again,
if we really
that's not an
wanted
embryo.
to, if we really wanted to, we could come up with a way to stop that. You know.
You didn't you say earlier that a fertilized egg is that's
okay.
where life starts?
Oh, so it's after it's fertilized, and then it's
and then it's
Yeah.
basically that your body does the
That's
same
a
thing that the morning after
miscarriage,
pill
yeah.
does. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
that's a
2/3?
miscarriage, bro.
2/3,
so
yeah.
so people get pregnant a lot without knowing it,
Right.
and
yeah.
then it's just gone.
And then it's just gone, yeah.
But that's
Okay.
their body.
I mean,
that's-
so
you
now
know, that's
again,
a
the way
tug of
that
war.
the way this conversation started, again, that's not 5 months in,
Right. Yeah,
So
and
there's
that's the
where,
thing.
yeah, I mean, that's to me, I don't know, whatever. And again, like Nate said, it's probably a waste of fucking energy to really try to stop people from abusing that ability. And you know, if you want to take yourself out of the gene pool, fucking go ahead.
I, mean,
Yeah.
I think you can't really deny it, like that service, like to people like who will need it or use it,
Right.
Just because of like the people who are going to abuse it. I mean, that's unfortunate.
Right.
That sucks.
Yeah.
But you cannot deny like people who need it or will use it
That's-
just because of.
But we can't
Yeah,
legislate
that's-
morality. That's a
Exactly.
morality thing.
No, and I think I'm coming around to this because
you can-
initially when you
can
have
legislate
when you have like an initial moral knee jerk reaction to abortion like I've had, then I guess it took me a minute to sort of apply the rest of my real political philosophy to this issue, and now I'm seeing it as more of a thing that, yeah, you're exactly right. You can't legislate morality, so why make unsafe conditions for the people who need services? I see that. I mean,
That's all I.
I just
really
worry.
saying.
Maybe it's more of a cultural conversation that I want to have. Maybe we're having two different conversations where I want to talk more about how many shitty people and why they feel the need like that to just use that as a fallback.
Well,
you
that's
know?
a small percentage of people getting abortions.
I don't know. I would
It's a very small
guess.
percentage.
I would actually guess that it's more often people who just don't feel like having a kid right
Kid,
now.
yeah.
You know,
Well,
Dude,
maybe
it's-
they're not ready.
Well,
never
man,
will be ready.
that's the point, though.
Taking
it's like
care
that
of a
to me,
kid is hard, dude.
right?
You know?
And that's
It's
sort of a
hard
cop
work.
out. It's like
Yeah.
No
who's
doubt.
who's ever ready? You're not ready. My parents,
Never ready.
my parents had me as an accident. They fucking figured it out. You know what I mean? It's most of us are.
Yo,
it's-
which
it's,
brings me
you
to
know,
a point. Why do people cry about being in an accident? You ever hear somebody cry like my parents
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
plan me?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I never
Right.
understood what that was a big deal. Like my folks like
kept
told me like
you.
from a young age, like I was like an accident. I never thought of that as a bad thing. It's just
No,
they
me
weren't just
neither.
like sitting, you know.
I was like,
just
holy shit,
assumed.
and I'm here now. That's fucking dope. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for fucking y'all. You know?
Yeah. No, and I've asked my parents, like, did you ever consider abortion? And my mom and dad both said, nah, it just wasn't our thing. We couldn't have done it, so we figured it out, you know? And I
Yeah.
think there's a lot of people that could figure it out and could get their life together, but don't feel like stopping partying. And you know what? I'm totally going to admit, at certain times in my life, that was in the back of my mind as like a fallback option. Like, oh, if I get this bitch
man,
pregnant,
you keep saying
for
Some
sure.
you say though,
and
yeah,
stuff.
partying. I disagree.
What
with
if
that.
you're in law school, right? You're in law school. You're a
Okay,
woman. You're in law
fine,
school.
whatever.
You
I
find
don't
yourself
care.
in the
Whatever.
pregnant position, but
Fine.
you're gonna have to drop out of school then.
You want knowledge?
Yeah,
You're
fine.
gonna have
What
to,
if
so it
you were on
derails
the
your entire career.
highway
Okay, fine. We
and
can
somebody swooped down in through the sunroof?
shut up. Listen. So, I mean, you can come up with whatever you want to come up with, but I just in my gut, I say that most abortion is not fucking people who are putting themselves through law school and practice pretty responsible behavior. It's probably mostly people who are partying and then want to
Yeah.
continue that
Is there
lifestyle.
any
I'm with it.
percentages on this, Andrea, that you can look up?
There's no.
I will say,
There's
People
no data.
partying
There's
directly after
this is
abortions.
This is all from the gut.
I mean, I
There's
know
gonna
I
be-
personally threw abortion parties after everyone. But, I mean, that's me.
No, I'm not talking about the next day,
We
but I'm
all
talking
ate
about
a cake shaped like a baby.
yeah. I'm talking about who is getting pregnant a lot.
cut it with scissors.
And then wanting to have an abortion. Do you think it's people like in medical school and law school? Yeah, it happens. But do you think for the most part it's probably people that are at bars and clubs and shit? Yeah, probably more
I think
so.
it's a varying mix.
Yeah, whatever. It's
There's
gonna
a
be
lot
a mix.
there's a lot of women
Whatever.
that want to pursue
All
an
I'm-
education,
all
man.
I know there are fucking Christ. You guys are
For real.
retarded. All I'm saying is that it's probably more people who practice a lot of irresponsible behavior. Not that I'm on a high horse about that. I could have gotten girls pregnant plenty of times. I've been very irresponsible, but I was lucky, and so fine.
I wasn't
I'm not
so
on
lucky.
I'm not on a high horse about that. I'm just saying, I think it's going to be more people like me that are knocking girls up than fucking responsible lawyers and shit,
Yeah,
Whatever.
that would stand to reason. This bill is very creepily known as the Pain Capable Unborn Child Protection Act.
Ooh, that's a
As if that title is not meant to sway the way
Oh.
you feel about it.
But is that legit? Is that when an embryo can feel pain or a fetus, or what is it at 5 months? When's it an embryo and when is it a
How
fetus?
do we know when it can feel pain? That
Yeah, I don't know if
they
I don't
probably have
know
done
if
studies.
science is really.
fish don't have no
No,
feelings.
they poke needles in there and just fucking watch it on an ultrasound and poke its feet, poke bamboo shoots under its toenails
That's
to see what it does.
After 8 weeks, an embryo becomes a fetus. So that can't be it.
Okay, so it's a fetus.
So it's already a fetus at 20
Mm-hmm.
weeks. But apparently they've proven that it can feel something close to pain.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, well, why wouldn't it? Why does that surprise you? I mean, it's a person growing.
It's a person in there,
Yeah.
yeah.
It
And
gains
it's
traits
connected. It
and
gets
genes.
heartburn. It gets.
Yeah.
I mean, it has everything that
It dreams.
that
It fucking sleeps
person
and
has,
blinks
yeah.
and moves around.
moves its
yeah.
hands and its feet and stuff. I mean, it's alive. In
Yeah,
there,
that's
you know.
that's the part where I'm like, you guys are creeping
You know
me
what,
out.
man? But you kind of look at it as like a necessity, man. I mean, the shit is really sad when you dig into it and think about it, and that's the point of what they're trying to put in the legislation is sad. But like, if we all had to go and kill our own animal, you see the pain in its eyes of having to kill it to fucking eat, and you know what I'm saying? Life is pretty fucking depressing. You know
Yeah.
what I'm
No, it
saying?
is.
Just in
It
general,
really is.
life is depressing as shit. But we need sustenance. We need this, that, and in order to survive, that's just how it goes. Life feeds on life, and it's all pretty fucking sad. And if you have a fucking heart, and you can see that kind of shit. Like farmers talk about raising pigs on the farm. They all have their own personalities and everything like that. Then well, the bacon's got to come, and they feel really bad about it. But
I
Makes
had
the
to bury
bacon
a
that much sweeter.
I had to bury a bird yesterday.
Delicious.
My cat came running in the back door with a bird in its mouth, and then he was throwing it around in the dining room, and I couldn't get it away from him. And I was trying to sweep it up, but he kept grabbing it back and trying to run away.
Bless you.
And finally, I got it, and I took it out in the backyard, and I dug a little hole, and I put it in the bottom. And I actually did say a couple of words. I did. I was like, "Goodbye, little friend. Sorry about what happened to you," and I covered him up.
What about the snake he killed? Did you bury that?
Nah, I just fucking threw it in the
He
trees.
feels indifferent about that.
Monster.
What? The snake has no soul or anything, but birds do.
The bird was pretty.
There's people I don't give a shit about. You know what I'm saying? So I imagine some people as snakes. So I toss them fuckers away while I bury others. You know what I'm
Word.
saying?
Word.
The snake? The snake, actually, I threw it in that way where I bent way back and took my throwing arm almost down to the ground and just fucking whipped it. Whipped it over my head over the top of the trees.
Whipped it right into your neighbor's lawn, or just put it in their mailbox.
I just fucking
Holy shit, man!
Just whipped it over the fence into the neighbor's yard as far as I could.
Whoa.
Fucking dead snake in
So
their
David
mailbox.
Box just
and
got
they
here.
open it up.
David Box is
Oh
in the
my
house,
God.
everybody.
David Box.
Yo, what's going on? Looks like someone's wanting to move along to the next segment or something.
No, we're trying to. We were supposed to be going to break. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the next tattoo now. Who's next?
Me.
Are we doing? Andrea's doing one.
I'm doing Andrea
Did I
and
get
Nate.
did I get dibs or?
I'm going both ways tonight.
Who are you playing, Andrea? We got all local music tonight.
This is the Holy Alimonies from
The
their
Holy
album
Alimonies?
Spring Cleaning.
These are all people from DIY Chicago, the Facebook page. They all hit us up from there. So
Shout out.
shout out. We'll be back in a couple minutes. All right, we're back.
We're back.
Dun, 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 dun. Nate's getting a tattoo. What's Nate getting a tattoo of?
A dinosaur.
A dinosaur tattoo?
He's getting a tattoo on his dick of a bigger dick.
Yeah. We've made that joke a couple times already. David Box just joining us.
Yo.
How you doing, David? Where are you coming from?
I'm just joining you from outside, you know.
Where'd you come from?
I came from my house.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You weren't working?
Well, I was working before, from work to my house.
Where
from
were
my
you
house to
working?
Here. I was working at the Naperville, or what the fuck was it? This place in Naperville, the Northern Illinois Conference Center.
Were you shooting some video?
I was sort of shooting some video.
That's about all you're going to get on
Yeah,
that.
I did a lot of things. I was streaming video, doing audio, streaming audio.
Mhm.
Taking stills.
Of what?
Taking stills. It was
what?
a group of investors meeting for their annual meeting with this group called TCI. And they handle like $13 billion worth of Illinois money in investments and everything. So they yeah.
Sounds like some real scumbags.
Yeah.
They must be, right?
Well, they're nice to me, you know. They're actually...
Oh, of course. See, look, now he works for everyone. He works for evil people all the time. Then he comes in here and can't and can't talk shit about them.
No, but I do work for a lot of shitty clients, and
Uh-huh.
you know, I'll come back with some stories, you know, when they happen and stuff. But this group is actually, I don't know what they do behind closed doors and everything.
Of course
but
you don't.
Out of all the
You're
clients,
a pawn. You're a pawn. Everything's compartmentalized. They don't want you to see the fucking big picture, David.
Totally, but I have a lot of clients that are running way shittier businesses that are way meaner to me.
What?
And this group is, you know, Indian people.
What? Oh my god.
God.
You're an asshole. Why are you talking to me like that?
I mean, what a nightmare. But
Are you here to streaming the video?
but these wealthy white people are so nice to me.
Did
know?
you come here to streaming the video? Can you make the picture bigger?
Who is this?
Can you make the picture bigger?
Oh my god.
Is that what they're like?
Yeah, that's what they're like.
How do I make the microphone? Do I hold it? Do I have to
put
turn it on?
You put it next to your mouth, you fucking retard.
No.
Well, that wasn't right. Hold on.
How do I want you to line up the shot like this. Do not get the projector in the shot, please.
Yeah.
Do you
It's a lot. It's a lot more.
Young
like,
man,
can you add 3 more cameras?
can you and please, I will not be paying for an extra cameraman.
You will add 3 cameras and you will not pay. We will
No,
not,
I will not. No, I
We
will not pay.
This is a
Can
very
you-
big inconvenience for me at this conference, and we need 3 more cameras. We refuse to pay.
Don't you have a service where you can get us 3 more cameras?
What we want to use
I
a
will
green
not.
screen.
I will not pay. I will not pay.
Look,
We can
guys,
work it out.
I showed up to do my job. My name's David Box. You've got my business cards. And I do a service for a certain price. What is it that you want from me?
I do not want to pay that price.
We're going to pay less for your services, or we are not going to pay anything.
Guys,
Or you are
I'm not
going
in
to
the
give us more
position-
services.
I'm not in the position to negotiate here. You signed a
Oh.
contract with my bosses, and
No. Look.
yeah.
We did not sign a contract. I will not, but until I see a contract, that is
Where
not
is
my
the contract?
signature.
I don't bring the contract
Where
with me.
where did we signing the contract?
We want
I
to
just
put a
have- I
flying
did not-
car in the video.
Look, do you want me to do the job or not?
We're going to. We want a space dragon in a video.
There it is. All right.
Please enjoy our complimentary sugar water and birdseed out in the lobby.
Actually, I brought a lunch. I don't really eat bird
No,
seed.
you will dine. You will dine with us.
You'll dine with us.
Everything has way too much curry. It is fantastic.
Do you have anything other than bird seed? Or?
We have some curry for the video
Lentils. We have
and some
curried
curry for the audio.
Curried
You got-
lentils.
You want? I don't understand. You want curry in the audio?
This is curry mashed potato ball deep fried
I've just
and
ate,
dandelion
actually.
oil.
I
Very
don't
bitter.
know. This
Please?
doesn't seem very. I think I'm just gonna go back to the warehouse and hang myself. Actually,
That's all it took, huh?
wait. I forgot to be doing my David Box impression.
Please to be showing me a contract.
Excuse me.
Please to be showing me the contract that I signed.
Like I said, I don't bring the contracts with me. I think I'm gonna have to call the owner.
This is not the music of my native land.
Yes, it is, according to YouTube.
Which part of India? From which part of India does that come? I am very successful doctor.
Yeah, it's the rich part. It says here.
Yeah, you have like the doctor.
You do. You have the.
I have
the
like
rich guy
rural
Indian.
in India. I've got like old
You're the
rural
Indian
Indian
hillbilly.
woman. Yeah.
You like have the giant basket of grain on top of your head.
That's like
That's Africa. What are you talking
Oh, is
about?
that
Yeah.
Africa?
She's the one that runs up to Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom and is like, "Our children are missing."
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But that thing about Indian people
And then he
negotiating
shoots her because he
is,
doesn't have the time.
Yeah.
that
I ain't got the
happens
time.
often. I feel like.
It's a cultural thing. It only seems rude because you're not Indian. You know,
But if I was Indian, it would
be like, "Hi, how are ya? Sure, let's bargain." This
What
is
you're talking
fun.
about? How Indian people don't say hello?
No, it's the way that they like to bargain, and they want
They
you
don't
know,
want to pay for anything.
They want things to be flexible, and they want to get like the best bang for their buck and stuff like that. And they don't understand the rigidity
Yeah, because
of our
in
culture.
in India, when you want to get a video done, you go down to some dusty market, you know.
Yeah.
And you talk to a bunch of, and you're just yelling over a bunch of other guys, you know.
Yeah.
And there's a fucking
waving a leather bag with
he's-
stones.
and he's distracted trying to keep his camel in place. Just hey, stop it! Like, I do not want to. Like, no, this camel doesn't do shit, bro.
Please make sure you get the camel in the video.
Eric, it's the first time you're here. Let's go back to our
Welcome.
friend Eric.
Hi, Eric.
Eric.
He was absent during the whole Indian thing. That was just us racists.
Yeah,
So-
I didn't get to see any of your reactions to that, Eric, because I'm just looking at the back. of
No,
your
he
head.
was laughing. He was laughing. Eric,
Oh, that's good.
how you feel? Are you digging the show? Are you all right over there? You feel comfy?
Yeah. I'm enjoying it. I'm having a good time.
You like it? What's a little bit of your background so we can get to know you a little bit?
Well, I'm number 3 of 4 children. So grew up in a family of 6.
How old are you now?
I am 30.
Okay.
So
That's okay. I'm 31. I know you said it with that. I always say it like apologetically. Like I don't know if you guys knew this or if you'll still want to hang out with me, but I am 30. Like, he had that shrug when he said it. He's like, I'm 30.
Well, sometimes people like react like in like ways I say it. It makes me like feel bad. It's
Dude,
like,
believe
I can't
me.
help it. This is how time works. you
Believe
know?
me, I'm an unsuccessful musician. Therefore, I'm still playing small shows. and I'm still out there partying and doing all kinds of shit with people. And they go, "How old are you?" And I go, 30. And they're like, "What? Are you serious? What? Oh my god!" Like, how old did you think I was? Like 27? Like, okay, well, is that much fucking? Is it like people? It's that threshold that
Like
they don't want to
29 and a half.
they don't want to be sharing a social scene with anybody that old.
Yeah.
And it sucks. Yeah, you're
Well,
nervous.
you couldn't possibly be cool.
You're nervous to admit it. So anyway, 3 of 4 sisters, brothers.
2 older siblings. The oldest is my sister, and then I have an older brother, and then a younger brother.
Okay.
Mostly boys.
That's a lot of siblings.
Is it David?
Yeah, I actually wasn't listening. Sorry, Eric. I'd be more interested if I could see your face.
Where'd you guys grow up?
It's a little unincorporated area between Riverside and Lyons called Riverside Lawn. I usually just tell people I live in Berwyn because people know where that is, and I'm like right
Okay.
on the cusp of that.
So right outside Chicago.
Yeah.
For our international audience.
Yep.
And good family, good parents. What do you got going? You got
Yeah.
A little divorce, some drugs, some alcohol. You got some abuse, some fucking. Give us the dirt. What's going on?
No, nothing that entertaining, really. Both my parents, I mean, they were both like divorced like once, like before they met, and then I was one. Like so, like my 2 like older siblings are from my mom's first marriage.
All right.
And then me and my brother are from my mom and dad being married, and they haven't gotten divorced or anything like that. So, pretty stable childhood overall.
So then you grew up, and then what happened? What do you do now?
Currently, I'm a student at Roosevelt University. I'm a history major, political science minor. So I worked.
I didn't know they had political science underground.
Former lead singer of the Ebola 7.
That's true. I was the lead singer of Ebola 7.
Go on.
What's that?
It was a band that I had going for a while. With it changed variation with members over the years, but yeah, that was the last band I was in.
Ebola 7. Look them up. Let's see.
I wonder if you can
Ebola.
find anything of us actually.
So, political shit you're into. Where do you fall? Are you a party affiliated type, or are you?
No, I don't really care for any of the particular parties. Usually because most of them I think are full of shit, and I don't like agree with the things they say. So I generally fall like more on like the left wing. According to editorials that have like expressed like referred to people of like my political leaning, I'm apparently part of the anti-American left.
Okay.
Although I don't really consider myself as anti-American, I just have my beliefs. But that's,
You seem like a nice enough guy, and one thing I'm realizing over time is a lot of that type of language and a lot of that type of like dividing of people is so useless. And I used to kind of think like there was something to be said for. Can you guys try to keep it down a little bit here in the studio?
Eric and his
Fucking
many
sons of
siblings are
bitches.
starting to sound like terrorists.
They are, but no, they are. But I'm just trying to be delicate about it. So.
Well, welcome aboard.
One thing I've realized is like a few years ago, I really hated like super left people,
yeah.
and I realized that it was just because I was sort of favoring one side of an argument that is more nuanced, and we all are starting to realize that slowly, and we should stop like joining these camps.
Yeah.
But even not being a politically affiliated person, I realized I was partly for entertainment value and who I was a fan of and what I like to do, and partly for my own just kind of like philosophical beliefs, I guess, found myself in a pretty far right, area. And I'm not a religious person, and I'm not a lot of things that a lot of people would. Yeah, I'm not a lot of things that a lot of people would generally associate with a far right person. But I was there mentally, and I was like, had just this shitty reaction to anything coming from a sort of so-called leftist, point of view and stuff. And now I'm starting to just really get out of that whole way of thinking and trying to fucking deprogram myself from how I was still, even though I knew the bullshit of it all, how I was still kind of falling into that trap of left-right
compartmentalization of philosophy. You know.
Yeah. Well, I agree with you, but you asked me where I fall on like the spectrum. So I
Oh
figured I had to
no,
place
sure.
myself, yeah.
No, I get you because that's where people would classify you if they heard you talking at a party.
That's the
Right,
language.
but I mean, there are a lot of things like people like the far right side that like I agree with. Like I'm like like I fully support like gun ownership rights and like stuff like that. And like I'm like I know like
that's something that a lot of people who were pretty far left for a long time have come around on that in the past few years because it ends up we were talking about how we came around kind of on the abortion thing.
Mm-hmm.
It ends up evening out when we all agree on individual liberties.
Yeah, and that's
and if you're and a lot of people do on both sides, so it ends up kind of evening back out to where you're like, well, shit. Once something gets argued to you, to where it's like they point out the hypocrisy of the government trying to control a certain thing, then you can't go, okay, well, I want them in charge of who can own a gun and who can't own a gun. You know, so I've had a lot of my friends who just were mainstream Democrats and stuff for years come around on that. So that's interesting.
It's weird the language that is like involved in all that stuff and how your stance on an issue will classify you as either left or right, and then based on that classification alone, you'll piss off people who don't even know anything about you. They don't even have to hear your stance on any issue. They just hear that you're left from other people, and already the opinion is developed because of the language and the culture around the system.
They already have this idea and judgment of
Yeah.
I've found that hundreds of times when I get into an argument on either one small point, not even maybe a broad issue that people typically argue, but you get in a small argument about one small point, and then somehow something you say, the other person identifies you as a member of the left or the right. And I've had it both ways, millions of times, depending on what I felt about a certain thing. And they just start arguing with you based on that combative stance. And that's not a conversation anymore. It's an emotional contest. You know,
it's like the way you defend your religion. It's like you've so closely identified with what you call the right. Or
my
whatever,
religion is
fucking.
My religion is great.
You know what I'm saying, though. Like people.
You don't want to hear about my religion?
No, I don't give a shit. God, do you understand what I'm saying?
Mine has a lamb for a god.
A lamb, like a little lamb.
Yeah.
I want to be a part of that.
And
I'm in. You've changed my mind.
Lambs
it's actually
make
the
the
skeleton.
greatest-
It's a skeleton of a lamb that's been electrocuted so many times.
I take it back.
No, do you want me to keep going? Where were you going, David Bucks?
I don't know. You started electrocuting the lamb.
Yeah, and then I realized I had nowhere else to go.
I'm not sure.
And I
where
got
to go.
scared. I was just picturing a glowing lamb skeleton as a god. That's all. And I had nothing else.
That's the same god I
No, what were you asking me before? I was trying to think of funny gods while you were talking.
I don't remember.
Well,
Does anyone
must not
remember
have been
what,
very
what we
good.
were talking about?
No. I have no idea.
Wait. You're not lefty, are you?
Me? Well, of course I am.
Oh, jeez.
No, and I'm sorry. I grew up definitely identifying as like a left-wing person.
Yeah, me too. I used to, before I knew enough to know that was kind of a silly thing to say, I just felt like people my age and people who like wanted, I don't know what I want to say. It was LGBT rights that got me initially. But as soon as I started examining more left stuff, I didn't identify with it. And then I was hesitant to say no, and I always knew that like there was no reason that America was fighting the wars we were fighting. But
well, and that's where I eventually got to be pretty far right instead of far left. Was far left, the socialization and the overall just like government in every part of your life scares me way worse than the wild west of far right. You know?
Yeah.
So like I'd way rather just be on my own, responsible for my own safety, than have the intrusion of government in every aspect of my life. So that's how I ended up far right, just as a simple fucking just one way or the other,
me too. It's weird that to get there though you have to wade through like in my liberal culture of my liberal friends and my left wing friends that I have been
when you're in
surrounded with.
artistic communities, it's hard to have this philosophical view. It really is.
Yeah. And
we're
you know,
renegades.
people on the right
We're
are
brave.
painted as warmongers. They're the old white men who have no connection to anybody. And then you have to like get past that group of people into the real people who don't want the government to be involved and are like the extreme far right. It just seemed, you know, surrounded by the liberal people I was surrounded with, it seemed like an impossible kind of affiliation to make until, you know, you couldn't go slowly. You just had to get there.
Well,
you know what I mean?
There are a number of similarities, I think, too, between like, you know, just like the views of like, you know, like what's like the far left and like the far right, like considering like, you know, like individual liberties and the role of government in their lives, the role of like, you know, like how we should be doing like things and like, you know, like international like relations and stuff like that.
Right.
And it's interesting that like I think that people
the far right leaves out some harsh realities of like of our existence in a world with other civilized nations.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Yeah. So go on. I'm sorry. I just meant to sort of like translate that a little bit for people who might think like me.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
But yeah, so go ahead.
Well, no, but yeah, it's just
Shut
I
up.
mean, I think there are just like some like, you know, as far as like philosophy and like things and like stuff like that. I think there are a lot of differences, similarities. I mean, there are some there that people don't really recognize. And again, like, you know, like it was being said earlier, like once you start going with this whole like, you know, the labeling of like the left right like dichotomy, that all gets lost. And it just basically just kind of, it just turns into like just like name calling and the sake of, I would think sometimes disagreement for the sake of disagreement.
Well, it isn't that why some of the architects of our whole society really warned against political parties, you know, for that exact reason. I mean, it's a lesson we've learned as people over and over, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Would it be any better? I've thought sometimes, would it be any fucking better if you had 30 parties?
I mean, I can understand like how that can be like difficult because there can be so many. I mean, some people would find it hard because there's so many opinions to sift through, but that's a good thing.
Yeah. It takes vigilance and effort to have a good society too.
Yeah.
You don't just everybody turn a blind eye and go watch TV after work and then expect society to get anywhere better. I mean, it takes an effort from everyone. That's the harsh reality. It really
that's
does.
a scary thing.
You know, it takes vigilance as consumers, as fucking. I almost said voters, but whoops. That would
Do you
go against my stance.
I honestly think that if there was more than just the like Republican, and if it didn't come down to the choice between two parties, if there was, you know, 30 plus parties, I would be way more engaged to do research and go out and actually cast a vote,
but then at
because
the end of it all, would it still be just fucking 30 parties in a system that's never gonna fucking work for us?
Well, that's a really good question, but you know, like it's way more open to interpretation and your own research, you know, like
if there's so if there's 30 parties in the House of Representatives, you know, one thing I could say is that there would be a lot less block voting in terms of like, we all are going to do this to stonewall this guy and we're all going to do this to not. I mean, it might be a more honest survey of the representatives if there were that many more parties. I guess there's that. You know,
maybe,
I mean,
but you can't assume that they won't form their own alliances and scratch each other's backs the same way.
And that's
now.
that kind of becomes like the core, like of like the kind of like the philosophy, like behind that, like having a bunch of parties is like a lot of the ideas, like that they have to form then coalitions to really get everything done,
right?
And the idea is that then like they have to reach like compromise on issues, and no side gets too far, but it's like. At the same time, you have to worry, like, does the point of, like, coming to, like, these compromises, does anything really get done? And that's kind of where the danger is in that, too. But, like, so there's merit and danger in that kind of, you know, that kind of style.
Yeah, because when there's two segments of society that disagree on something, it doesn't necessarily imply that the middle ground is what's best.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that does leave us with that.
Yeah, I don't think. I just don't think it would work. I don't think that having more parties would work. I think that major issues are just going to create polarized groups, no matter what. Whether
do you
or not
think
they
that
all...
people would be less divided amongst themselves, the populace, if there was more than just two parties, though? I mean, don't you think that it 30,
No, they'd
30
be more
plus,
divided.
You think that 30 plus, well, you know what I mean, but 30 plus people or 30 plus parties would be the lesser evil to the two-party system which we currently have? I mean, it would. It might not work ultimately, but would you see it as an improvement?
I guess, yeah.
I mean,
to me, it allows. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You were still going on your point. So
I was going to say, to me, it allows people to. Assuming people actually are going to vote, which you might not have that in your any room for that in your philosophy.
What is it, about 10% of us vote out there, really?
But
it's really not. It's just a joke.
It was.
joke.
I think it
mean,
was like 20-something% last time we checked.
I was thinking about like even the argument of like whether or not voting does any good is a hilarious joke considering how few of us even fucking do it in the first fucking place. It's like the whole thing is such a throwaway argument at this point.
Well, and I guess what I'm having a hard time with is, what if the system is so different that there are 30 parties existing? What are the other differences?
That's a loud.
You could
motor.
I'm trying to think of an analogy.
Acknowledging. Hang on.
Let's
Let's check in with our tattoo artist over here. Let's see, Matt. You're doing a tattoo on our friend Nate there. How's it going?
How's it going, Mr. Gear?
Good, but I'm in another awkward position doing a tattoo.
You're
this one's easier.
You're tattooing in a talk studio.
Right, I was going to say, I'm in an awkward position, but, amazingly.
It looks good.
I was say, amazingly, I'm doing good work.
It looks great. We got like a sort of a Reptar kind of Tyrannosaurus Rex thing going on over there. It looks like a T-Rex with a crown.
Nice.
Going on Nate's leg there.
We'll get some pictures of that too.
Again, from artist Matt Gear. How do people find you? We never fucking tell. Do you have a website, and where do you want people exactly to go to find your art the best way? That's shit that they can buy.
It would probably just me at Facebook is probably the best place. I have an actual art page. It's
it's
Matt
called
Gear
Matt Gear
Art.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just look it up. The icon is a picture of one of my favorite paintings.
And you go through the pictures. And you go through the uploads on there, and that's all shit that's probably available, huh?
Oh, most of it is.
Well, a lot of it's probably been, some of it's been sold. But
people have to inquire. That's the name of the game. It's not like I hang a price tag on things.
Nice.
Hippie.
All right, I'm going to share that Matt Gear Art. I'm going to put that on Facebook for everybody. Yeah.
All right, so he's finishing up that tattoo. Veronica, do you want to come back in the room here? She's blocked by that cable, Dave. You want to move that far?
Actually, it's all right. I might go have a cigarette really quick.
I think you should come back in for this segment.
Okay.
I think
We
so,
want
too.
everyone in the room for this. Can you turn off the kitchen light, please?
Jesus Christ.
Thank you. No, it's behind the fridge. The switch is the switch is behind the fridge. There you go.
Huh?
Thanks.
Here.
Or Dave, why don't you just move over so she can get in and out? There you go.
All right. Squeezing everybody in.
Did we do this with Veronica? We didn't? Oh, we got a twofer tonight.
We got a twofer.
Veronica, you're gonna have to talk tonight.
Okay.
In fact, Andrea.
Yes?
Who do you think should... This is a thing we're doing. Listeners of the show already know. Neither of the people who are going to answer the question know what the question will be. But this is part of our upcoming podcast. It's going to be a bunch of people's reactions to this question. Andrea, who do you think would be best to go first to lead off the conversation?
I don't know. I can't decide.
It's really... it's hard to choose. Because you know the obvious... Because, like, Veronica would get it started, but I'm worried that it would go too far, too quick.
You might have nothing to say.
No, you will.
You will. Everybody has something
You know what I mean?
to say. Yeah.
Or you might have nothing. Actually, other people have surprised me that I had nothing to say, too.
Yeah.
Might have nothing.
Well, let's see how it goes. Everybody comes up with something.
Fuck, you know what? We should wait till Matt's done with the tattoo for
Oh, yeah, because you don't want that buzzing on the podcast. All right, you guys are just
How
going to live
long?
in suspense a little longer.
this. 10 minutes?
Oh, so now you've just terrified us, and then just hang on.
All right, so that's
Don't
the
be
teaser.
terrified. It's,
That's the teaser. In about
Oh, man,
10,
it's a huge pain in the dick.
in about
It's a
10
super pain in the
minutes, it's
dick.
coming at you.
Big old dick pain coming at you.
It's like the ACT.
No time.
Coming at you.
And you know I had to get you.
And it's going to be
Had to
timed
getcha.
too, so you better be quick.
All right. Well, while we're waiting for the tattoo to be done, I want to talk about the gas station by my house.
Why? What do you got over there?
Just the rudest fucking people you've ever met in your entire life.
Are
Is this
they-
all gas stations?
Are they Indians?
No.
Which one
None
was
of them.
this?
Not one.
Which one by our house?
The speedway that we frequent.
Oh.
It's down the street from our house. It's in a different town from our house.
Which
it's the
one?
only gas station I ever go to on Ogden.
Which person?
All of them.
But which ones?
Okay, well, let's see. For starters, there are 2 women who work there. There's a short little black woman and a big tall lurch of a blonde woman.
Yes, okay.
Lurch.
And they are both, I mean, you walk up to check out and they act like they shouldn't
like
have to do that.
There's a fucking black lady and a white lady, and when you walk up to the counter, they act like fucking Asians.
Yeah.
And they don't say shit.
That's exactly what it is.
I
They
don't
act
have
like
that experience
Asians.
with them at all.
No? Maybe they just hate women.
I walk in there, I get my coffee, and they say, "Hi, how's it going today?" And I say, "Good." And we have the whole routine. They know how I'm gonna pay, and I'm like in and out of there without saying shit.
Most of the time when the 2 of them are there, I walk up to the counter and they continue to have a conversation with each other for 20 seconds before one of them turns around and
oh,
starts
man.
scanning my
hate that.
stuff.
I've left places after 10 seconds of that shit and like rudely slammed my shit on the counter and just been like, I'm leaving. Fuck you. You didn't
Yeah.
show me the most basic courtesy that you would show any human being in any situation in your life because you don't like your fucking job. I've worked the
Yeah.
same goddamn job before and I fucking hated it, and I would go there after my girlfriend fucking dumped me the next day, broken, out of hearted, out of my mind, or whatever was going on in my life, whatever your excuse is, and every person that would come up, I would at least go, hi.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Then,
You know,
then after they choose
I'm
to,
not a piece of shit though.
yeah,
Fucking
But-
pieces of shit
Yeah.
that
After
stand
they-
there like that. That's fucking. It's demeaning. Like, you need to demean me because you feel demeaned.
because you work in a gas station.
What do you?
You know what?
It's like you molest people because you got molested.
Yeah.
You fucking sicko.
I
Stop.
That makes sense.
But then after they choose to acknowledge that I'm trying to make a purchase, then they just turn around and start scanning my items and continuing their conversation. If they give me, if they say the total out loud, that's the only thing they say.
oh,
to me.
dude. See, to me, the classic hi and then not saying fucking shit to me afterwards is my favorite thing for being involved with someone behind the counter.
Yeah,
at a
but
place
without
like
the
that.
high, everything else is even ruder.
Yeah, it is. I guess, I don't know. I guess at a place like that, I don't really expect it because everyone who works there is kind of at a place like that, I don't expect them to say hi.
One time I went and really drunk with the old co-host of this show, the Earthling, who actually called me the other night. We didn't talk about that, did we?
No, you mentioned it, and I tried to get you to talk about it, and you wouldn't.
I didn't want to because there's nothing. Huh? Oh no, nothing. Nate's piping up over there. They have some separate issues. But he called me the other night, and he started off trying to act like a hard ass, and then so did I, and then he backed off, so did I. And then we talked for a little while, but I realized like it was just going in circles, and I'm like, dude, this is why I don't really miss you on the show, is because you make no sense and you're just fucking all ego and you just want to talk all drunk and do no work ever. And he's trying to get me to go back into doing music with him, and he's like, we got to keep doing that. I'm like, dude, why would I work with somebody that just disappears from projects? This guy who was our co-host, and he just walked
For
up.
weeks
He just
at a time.
he just would disappear for like 2 weeks at a time, and then finally he just didn't show up to a show, and we're like, all right, we're moving on without you because we can't. Here's the thing. His personality was so obtrusive and so like hard to deal with that we basically had to plan the show around him. So it was like it was a different style of show. It was entertaining, and he was irritating, and it was fun.
I thought that shit was hilarious.
I think we did some awesome shows.
I'm glad
yeah.
it's at least in the archive. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
But
I
too
think-
much more of it might not have been as interesting. But man, that shit was funny.
We did some awesome shows, and we really had very fucking like conflicting personalities. That really. It was fun.
Yeah, created good stuff.
And I was willing to develop it into something, but whatever. Anyways. that's what. Where was I going with this?
You
in the
went
first
into
place?
the gas station, super drunk.
Yeah.
With
Oh yeah, with the Earthling one time. All right, the Earthling, the old co-host. He doesn't like us to say his real name. He told me during this conversation. He's like, "Don't be saying my real name, bro." I'm like, all right, sorry. I had to apologize for that. That's true. He never wanted his name out there. We go in after a show one night. We go all wasted to this gas station, and we walk up, and the guy's on his fucking Bluetooth, and I think he's an Indian guy or from somewhere nearby, you know, and he I'm like, hey, and he just like, blah, 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 you know, I'm just like, hello, how you doing? And he's just like, blank face with like his eyelids half closed, you know, that like really fucking just I don't give a fuck about you kind of look on his face, just like. And I'm just like, and then he's like, okay, and he like clicks his thing off, and he's like, yes, and I'm like, so I like wait a second, I'm like, I fucking hate this guy, you know, and this is back when I still smoked, and I go, give me a pouch of Bugler, and I said it in a real clear way because I knew that he could not speak English. I could just tell. I'm like, can I have a pouch of Bugler tobacco, please? And he's just like, no. And I'm like, it's right behind you. I'm looking at it. You know, I forget what he said, but just like, Buse, and he's just like shaking his head. I'm like, dude, it's on the second shelf right there. And this man's lack of understanding of English was amazing, even for like your basic guy who doesn't know English at a counter. This was like the worst one ever. And I just like lost my shit and just started screaming at him. Like, what the fuck is fucking wrong with you, dude? You have a million fucking products here. You can't answer a goddamn question about any fucking one of them because you're too much of a cheap fuck to hire some kid down the street for $8.25 a fucking hour like you would probably rape him for anyways. But no jobs available here when kids come in and ask you fucking piece of shit. Just like start screaming at him. And I just went on and on.
You went wide with it, too.
Oh, yeah. And because I've applied for a million jobs in my life. I know what it's like to be turned down for jobs because all you speak is English. So, anyways, I just like let loose on this fucking dude, and he's like backing away from the counter, and the Earthling just grabs me like around my whole like body and just starts dragging me out of the store. And he goes back in and talks with the guy and gets the cigarettes, you know, that I wanted. And he comes back out, and I was just sitting in the car. I'm like, so was that racist? and he goes, and he's like the biggest racist ever, and he just goes, I don't know, that was pretty bad. That was pretty bad. But I just had it with that shit of just like, dude, you come on, like you live like a mile from my house. How is it not reasonable for me to pull into a store and think that you might be able to answer a simple question?
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. Because you're too cheap to hire somebody that can. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, but...
Dick shitter. That means you had to have dicks in your butt.
Oh.
To shit them.
Or you ate some dicks with your mouth.
Yeah.
And then they went all through your stomach, and then you shat those dicks out your butt that you put in your mouth.
Hole.
Dick shitter.
You got dick shooting out of your
shitter.
eyes. It means you shoved them up your nose.
What a weird personality you would have to listen to this show.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were going to say what a weird personality you would have to have in order to work it in like a gas station.
I'm just realizing why we have no audience, because you have to be somebody who like takes paranormal and UFO events seriously, hates cops, hates the government, refuses to budge,
and probably does a lot of drugs.
Tells drug stories, fucking hangs out and gets tattoos, has a scumbag lifestyle, has all this ways that you could identify with all of us. It's too many factors.
Yeah.
We don't have a good cross section.
How is it that we even have this many people in the room right now?
Yeah, that's what's fucked
I feel
up.
like the majority of the people I know would fall under that category, so I do try to like say a word here and there No, it's not
I don't
even.
know.
It's
You
completely
feel like
true.
that, but wait till you get to talking to them. That's what I've learned from this show is you think that, but then when you start telling your friends, "Hey, I should be able to kill a cop if he wants to arrest me for weed," they go, "No, that's wrong." Ask
Well, I
Nate.
get that, but I said no too when I first heard that. But you guys at least helped me open my mind to the understanding that I was closed minded about the idea. You know, like
Yeah.
So either way, it's a process, and it's like learning with really weird people. You know.
Yeah.
What we need.
What do you mean?
Your break down the thing for Eric with.
Oh, we're supposed to stay away. Everybody's mad. We talk too much about police. That's what
Okay.
what I've been told. No, I just think.
Oh.
All right, I'll break it down in 30 seconds.
A new challenge.
So, the idea that a person would enforce an obviously immoral code through the threat of violence, which is what a cop does when he arrests you for like a substance violation, to me, you know, and considering the harshness of our legal system and the way that it actually introduces you to worse fucking criminal elements of society and turns you into a worse person in general, just the whole thing, the whole big picture of it, and the fact that it's the initiation of violence and force is by the police officer in the first place, I feel like if you don't feel like having your life ruined, you should be able to end theirs to avoid that from happening morally. So, in other words, there's no other choice. And here's the other thing: if you could vaporize, it might be an immoral thing. If you could disappear and teleport, then it might be an immoral thing. But considering that you can't, and they'll just chase you and call more people and be more and more violent until you submit, I feel like if you've got, I've said this over and over, if you got a pistol in one pocket and a bag of weed in the other, and a cop is approaching you and you know he's gonna fucking frisk you down and you don't feel like having your life ruined over something that wasn't immoral, that you have the right to end his because of the implications of violence that he, you know, and the threat of violence that he poses.
Like
you
if
know?
we
that's
didn't-
a simple explanation.
Like if
Matt
we didn't-
asked me to explain that to you. Why, Matt? Did you think he would disagree? Okay,
he
he's not
nodded.
listening.
He nodded.
Oh, Eric, is that offensive or like kind of fucked up sounding to you?
Well, I understand like where you're coming from on your whole thing, but at the same time it's trying to argue. I can't really just say that argue that murder is okay. Anyway, I understand like where you're coming from with that, and
Where does
I
murder-
definitely get the argument, but
Okay,
at the same
let me ask
time-
you this: if you're in a battle, if you're in like a battle, hand-to-hand combat, and a guy hasn't physically engaged you, but you're in a crowd of 1,000 people fighting against 1,000 other people, but a guy's not looking at you and he hasn't engaged you, is killing him a moral breach? You know, of your moral code? I mean, and my only point is somewhere between, there must be a gray area, you know, between our two situations, because like if you view the drug war as a battle, which it is, and they've declared war on ordinary citizens by through threat of violence ruining their lives for choices that they make with substances, you know, like we've all done tonight. So there's a gray area somewhere in between, no? Of that battle situation and then what happens between me and a cop, where you go like, where does the philosophy intersect, you know? Where is your line to where, when does someone threatening your life, or when are you in a battle, you know what I mean? Like, when do you view it as enough of it? Anyone see where I'm trying to go here? Like,
Yeah, just stop talking.
I mean, I get like I see where
Did I do it already?
But I mean, I just think like 1,000 people on like kind of like a battlefield is like a kind of a difficult analogy to put to like the more like singular situation.
No, it's not an analogy. I mean it only to present that there's a time when someone clearly threatens your life or your way of life, right? Say as in a battle situation. And there's a time where it's a little more muddy, say as with a cop. But what I'm saying is nobody would argue that when you're in a battle, that it's not wrong to kill one of your opposing forces before they kill you, right?
Vinny, would you kill a man for $600?
Any man?
What does that have to do with anything?
Well, a fine for marijuana or something could end up like $600.
No,
You
it
know,
could end
kill
up
him
being
after
fucking
that, or
$3,000 and all kinds of court trips and fucking tons of hours of your life, all kinds of shit,
How
dude.
many hours?
Lots. It doesn't matter. And yes, I would if I was walking through a park with $600 and somebody came up and threw a brick at me and tried to take it. Yeah, I'd fucking kill him if I had to. 100%.
I kind of think that.
Kick this fucking cat out of here.
Oh,
Nate, grab the
kitty.
cat.
Oh,
Sorry, that's just kind of funny.
it kind of seems like
Grab
the
him.
question is,
You got to get him out of there.
oh, this
Sorry.
cat.
Oh,
He's
the
so
cat is
cute.
disrupting everything.
He looks just
Nate's
like
trying
my
to say,
dog.
is the inconvenience of a drug arrest worth taking a life? And I don't see it that way. See, it's not. That's not where the crux of this argument is. The crux of this argument is where the violence was initiated. Who initiated the force and the violence, and how is it appropriate to respond to that? It doesn't matter if you've got $2 to lose or $1 million to lose. What's mine is mine. You don't take it by force. You know what I mean?
Are you trying to resist the guy when he's just trying to do his job?
Oh, see,
are
fuck
you
that.
moving
See,
away
this is
from
why I
him,
don't want to
making
get
crazy
this is,
moves.
This is
I
why I
mean,
don't want to
that
get
shit
into the
does play a
conversation.
factor,
His
man.
job is an immoral thing to be doing in the first place.
Then you gotta fucking vote, dog.
No.
The fuck is wrong
Oh
with
my
you,
God.
bro?
You're arguing that the assertion of force begins with
Jesus
the
Christ.
actual like encounter with the frisking because that leads to
Yeah, and it doesn't have anything to do. Just to address that before, it doesn't have anything to do with voting because at some point there's individual accountability, and a person to me right now in 2015, whether you're a cop or not, or no matter where you come from, you have the ability to discern right from wrong, and you have the ability on your own to discover that people's own choices with fucking substances and drugs are what they are, and you don't have the right to stop and police people. So I mean, it's individual accountability. Just because it's your job doesn't mean shit.
A job that you chose to have.
A job
and
that you chose and
could
went to
choose
school
to have a
for
different
and
job.
could easily quit. Yeah.
It's
Go work at a supermarket for a comparable salary.
Yeah.
If we lived in a world where there wasn't laws and we didn't have society, and you were just walking around with some plants in your pocket, and a person like with armor and shit came up to you and was like, "Hey, what's that? I'm gonna lock you up for it and take it from you."
The king says that
Give me it
It's
and
like,
pay
yeah,
me.
if you're not gonna be on, bombarded by other police officers because you were caught on video or something like that, morally, that's just a guy trying to take your shit away from you
Exactly.
and lock you up.
Exactly.
And then
you know,
make you pay.
now you might know in your head that you're going to get locked up and be fined and that you might be okay, but on just like moral ground, without knowing that stuff, without like all that shit.
And I would ask. Sorry.
You know what I mean,
Yeah,
though?
I do
It's
know.
like
Yeah.
that guy's gonna take your shit and lock you
Exactly.
up, and without law and without any repercussions, it seems like what you ought to do is kill that guy because he's fucking your shit up.
Right.
Right.
Exactly. That's what I do.
Like, or
yes,
at
of
least
course. And that's
take
not a
him
joke.
out, knock
Yeah.
him out, get him on.
Do whatever you can do.
Get
Yeah.
rid of the fucking.
Maybe you have the moral obligation to incapacitate him if
Yeah.
you can. But fine. But,
Neutralize the threat.
Here's the sad truth about
You're
a cop.
allowed to neutralize
is that
the threat.
It's much safer to kill him outright if you can, because if you attempt to knock a cop out and you miss, he's got all kinds of weapons, mace, and friends.
Well,
so,
yeah,
it's not a good scene for you.
We
so,
should
I mean,
we shouldn't talk about it as like we shouldn't say cop. It's what they are aggressors.
Right.
You have the aggressor.
Now let me ask you
and
this
then,
though.
you.
Most people who are police apologists, like Nate. I know, I'm just fucking with you. Most people who, but you are kind of in this conversation because you're calling it a guy doing his job. Yeah, you're saying it's a guy doing his
but
job.
I'm not condoning violence from them motherfuckers or nothing. I'm just
Oh, is the
saying,
tattoo done? Nice. What do you think? Listen, here's my
that's a
point.
good-looking
Hold on.
tattoo.
Listen, here's my point. Most people who are police apologists, if you ask them this, now Nate, you said $600. By the way, that's a really unrealistic estimate of what it costs to get arrested for weed. Now, maybe if you get arrested for some municipal fucking ticket or something, but no, dude, my last weed arrest cost me $2,400.
Yeah, dude.
Dude,
The
believe me.
classes.
A pipe,
oh my God.
a pipe is $750 alone, mandatory minimum fine in
Yeah,
Illinois.
dude.
That's for starters. Plus all your fees at the end of it was like $400 plus other fines, plus fucking classes, plus the way they hit you for everything, dude,
Yeah.
and probation for all kinds of shit. I had to pay for my own goddamn drug tests and rehab. and shit. Fucking
Yeah.
all kinds of shit, dude.
Rehab.
They
Me
fuck
too.
you. I've been arrested 14, 15 times, dude. They really fuck with me at this point, you know? I mean, they do not fucking like me. But here's my point. Here's my point. So whatever number you come up with, say it was $600. How about this? If a fucking thief jumps out of the bushes in the park with a knife and you got $20 in your pocket and he holds a knife up and goes, "Give me your $20," and you know some kung fu shit and you slice his fucking throat and he dies, does any cop apologist feel bad for him? No.
You know what? You've convinced me.
Yeah. I mean, it's a thief is a thief. Somebody taking something for an immoral purpose by force
Yeah, but majority of people
is what it
agree
is.
with that. You gotta change their fucking mind.
Hold on, you're off mic. You gotta fucking get on a mic. What are you saying?
Man, I done forgot. This is what happens when I smoke weed, bro. That's
get
what I'm fucking
tattoos.
saying, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what people are voting for, man.
Oh,
You think-
the vote.
You think they're
The
on a
voting.
bunch of fucking little old people like, yeah, them little fucking hooligans, rapscallions fucking around in my garden. You know what I'm saying?
Voting.
You know what I'm
schmoting.
saying, though? Come on,
Is
man.
that
You
a
gotta
kind of-
change your neighbor's mind.
Is that a
dude.
kind of an onion?
They ain't gonna fucking agree with you. And they have a say in shit, too, bro. That's all I'm saying, man. You gotta vote for shit. You wanna change shit? Change the people that are in positions to change shit. Because who's doing shit right now?
I'm
They ain't
doing
gonna change
shit.
They won't change because we all just listen to what the fuck they say. We actually don't hold them into any accountability. Say like two motherfuckers robbing a bunch of people and then imprisoning them sons of bitches. But we don't do that kind of shit.
Yeah, we do.
And maybe no. Bill Clinton and George Bush are still on the fucking loose. Are you telling me? Am I getting too loud? I'm sorry.
No, not you. Sorry. We had a miscommunication.
Am I not hearing?
No,
something?
it was a
You
good
playing
communication,
some
but you were
shit?
just
Give me
supposed
the
to cue
headphones.
it, and then I'll give you the nod.
Gotcha. All right. Go on.
Or you just know when to do it.
I already know there's some scandalous business going on.
No, there's not. No. It's not about you. Can you point that mic at your fucking mouth? Your
This
big,
mouth?
Your big dumb cop loving mouth.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
You got some crackers?
So, new pal Eric. I know it's like it's and a lot of it's a personal decision about right and wrong too. So what do you think about all that shit that we were just saying?
Well, I guess one of the things I would ask is like, do you think the fault lies with like the individual or with the system that creates like these laws that these people are they train these people basically? You could almost say maybe like perhaps like brainwash. I don't exactly know how cop boot camp works to do that. So where does the fault lie with them specifically or within that system itself?
Both. Because morality, one of the reasons we're in the position we are, in my opinion, as a society, is the compartmentalization of responsibility and the way that a lot of systems run in a way that people go, hey, there's nothing I can do. It's just the bureaucracy of my situation, and you have to fucking, you fall into this category. And it's like a lot of things get done in the society that we could never do to each other eye to eye, you know? And I think this is an extension of that line of thinking to where, yeah, the system is rewarding that behavior and is requiring that behavior if you want to do that job. So that's why I say it's impossible to be a good cop. The job doesn't allow it. The job is an immoral thing to do. But at the end of the day, I didn't choose to be a cop because I knew being a cop was a fucked up thing to do, you know?
Right.
So I don't know, dude. I also didn't choose to be a murderer. I also didn't choose to be a bank robber. I didn't choose to fucking stick up old ladies. I didn't choose to fucking break into garages and steal cars. I didn't choose to fucking rape girls. I didn't choose to torture animals. You know what I mean? It's just because a system sanctions a certain choice doesn't tie it to morality whatsoever, and doesn't have, to me, there's no excuse for the individual then within that system committing the immoral act. I just don't think there's any excuse.
I think. Go ahead, bro.
I was just saying, I see what you're saying, definitely, but it was just like, I mean, like the thing is, like, if the individual is brought up within that system and they're just like bred to kind of like think that way, it's kind of hard. And there's something to like, Matt Gear just left the room, but he was talking about like the kind of like people like that they tend to hire with the police forces are people who are less likely to kind of like question
Lower IQs,
right? Yeah, Matt knows more about that. He was explaining to me.
And
the
a
other
lower
night,
IQ
so.
doesn't necessarily mean a dummy. It just
No, it
just
does
means
not, but
somebody
just-
who doesn't really think critically in
Who's
situations.
more likely to
quickly.
just kind of
It's like,
will
they're-
not think,
they're- They'll follow their protocol. Yeah.
I think a lot of the problem is that people find the path of least resistance. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Well, all right. You want people to be subservient, so it's easy.
No, I
to
don't.
just- no,
That's the opposite
the
of what I
system.
like,
No,
Nate.
not you. I'm
Nate, do
saying
you listen at all?
Have you
as-
ever
as
listened to
the
my show?
system,
I know.
as the system.
Go
You
ahead.
know what I'm saying? You want
Yeah.
people to be subservient. You know, you've been in hard times. You ever stole some shit?
Hell
when
yeah.
When you get in positions, you tend to
No,
take the
believe
path
me.
of least resistance. These
I-
cops are doing that shit. The
Ah,
government's
fuck, that's a
doing
good
that
point.
shit.
God damn it.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
It's
okay.
everybody just persuade people to not take that fucking path.
Well,
a
okay.
part of that to me
That's a fair
is
point.
voting. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
At
that's
least try
stupid,
or
but-
no, man. I mean, community outreach like a motherfucker. If you really feel concerned about some shit that's going on around you, go talk to the old folks in your neighborhood, dude.
What
They
is
vote.
that gonna do?
They change shit. No, they
Yeah.
change shit.
They
And they
vote
really
for-
do, dude.
Yeah.
You're going to fucking school every day. If you didn't go to
I
public
don't go to school.
you should know. Old people are basically taking your life in their fucking hands. They're voting for your ass.
Not if I have anything to say about
Now,
it.
if you go in your community and you talk to these
Beat the
people,
fuck
you're
out
gonna
of them.
change opinions, man, and quit
Old
taking the
people,
path
they're
of fucking
set
least
in their ways.
resistance. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
bro.
no, I get.
That's-
I like your point though about because I've been in hard times in my life and I've stolen
Yeah, dude, you people
a
take
lot
the
of stuff,
path of
and-
least resistance. They don't,
and I've done it
why
and it
try
was
too
not a
hard?
moral thing and you know what? Just because I didn't do it by force doesn't make it any better, really. You know, so. In fact, it almost kind of makes it a little worse. You know, like just sneaky little rat just taking things. But you know, that is a good point because I have been fucking real hard up and taken the path of least resistance where I could maybe ask a family or a friend for help, family member or a friend
Yeah,
for
man.
help and get my life on track, but I just choose to drink and go out and steal out of cars all night. I did that a lot in my 20s, you
Fuck
know,
yeah. You
before
see
I had
these-
my shit
these
together. So
these young people
that's a
becoming
good point, dude.
police,
I got to admit.
know,
I got to admit. That's a good
taking
point.
the path of least resistance.
Yeah.
This motherfucker ain't listening. I'm gonna cap his ass. I
Get
play-
on
dude,
your
I
mic,
play-
son of a fuck shitter.
So sorry. I commit suicide.
Go ahead.
This is the thing about smoking weed with me, bro. Is I like say some shit and
Makes you
then
love
automatically I'm like, hey, the next thing, what's going on?
I wasn't saying a thing before.
Shit, fuck whatever I was saying. What
All
y'all
right.
doing?
We're gonna catch a quick break here. Who you playing, Andrea?
We got Martian agriculture.
All right, Martian Agriculture again on this Thursday, right? Evening
Thursday, yes.
overdose.
Sneezing.
When we come back, we're gonna do our classic segment for the podcast. Y'all know what it is. Back in a minute. Check out Martian Agriculture on Facebook. I did a show with these guys. Very fucking nice guys. Cool dudes. Big into the local community. Check them out. All right, we're back.
We're back.
In full effect.
It's time.
It's
time to
time.
be back.
It is time.
That was one of our favorites, Agents of Change. You guys
Hey,
should check them out if you haven't.
Eric, do me a favor. Lean back and to the left. Back, and,
and
to, the left. Can you lean back,
and to the left.
and grab and just hit that light switch? Yeah, there you go.
Ah.
Now it's dark. Matt, you got the bowl
Thank
packed?
God.
Yes, I do.
If you guys don't know, if you're in the Chicago area, we give all of our fans an open invitation to come check out the show live. Send an email to sundayeveningoverdose@gmail.com if you don't have one of our phone numbers. if we've extended that far. Send an email to it's not the, right? It's just
No, it's just Sunday evening overdose
at gmail.com. And we'll give you the address and you can come join us live from one of the shows. And get on the show like old Eric here.
All
Old
right.
Eric. I feel like we know Eric pretty well at this point.
Yeah.
Eric, how do you feel?
I feel like you know me.
Eric, it's been nice getting to know you.
Yeah, no, it has been cool being on with you guys. Yeah,
I have actually known Eric, and he's one of my best friends.
And that's the thing. On our show, you don't have to have a book. You don't have to fucking have something going on. Just anything. Just be a regular person. Our show is all about just fucking
Eric's
regular.
a reverend.
He's a reverend?
I am, yeah. I got ordained online, and I've actually legally performed 2 marriages, and I'm always happy to do more.
One of which
Nice.
I attended.
Okay. Now you just did it for the fuck of it to get some of your friends married, or what?
Well, I did it because I enjoyed doing it. I'm not religious, as are my friends, so they didn't really want to have like any kind of like religious ceremony. So I just did have like a totally like secular ceremony, and plus like, yeah, it's like I don't know, it's like it's fun to do as well. But like, yeah, that's
It's a great way to touch kids too.
indeed it is. You'd be amazed.
I know that's why I got into it.
Oh, you boys.
There is a question.
We had a friend. Oh no, we had a sister. That's right. Our sister got married that way. Remember, Andrea?
Yeah.
Me and Andrea are brother and sister, and we had another sister.
That's why it's
We
so
have
creepy
another
when they kiss.
sister.
Well, I've disowned her. I've disowned her, and she got married that way. They didn't want to have like a regular religious thing, so they had one of our family friends get ordained, and he tried to do snake handlers. He tried to get it through the snake handlers church, and couldn't make it happen.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so he eventually had to go with like Episcopalian or some weird shit. You know, I
Fantastic.
don't know what he had to do, but yeah, and then remember.
Yeah.
His name's John Brown. He's an old family friend of ours, John Brown. He was a staple growing up, and he married our sister. Not married,
Yeah.
you know.
Brown
He
was a
married
staple.
her to her
He
husband.
presided over the
Yeah.
marriage.
He married some friends.
Yeah.
That's I'm getting married. That's what we've decided to do as well.
You're gonna get John Brown?
No, we're just gonna have a friend
Just get Eric.
John Brown.
officiate.
Get John Brown. Get Eric.
Eric's cheap.
I'll be happy to
I
do
haven't
it, yeah.
I haven't spoken to John Brown probably since the last wedding, which
Yeah,
was
John Brown disappeared.
he vanished. Yeah,
John Brown kind of left us all hanging
yeah.
like a bunch of twats.
Well, Eric, we can talk.
Like a bunch of dried twats hanging in a warehouse. bunch of fucking dried pig twat jerky.
Right.
What? Move along.
Coming soon to a Walmart near you.
All right, let's get serious here. Everybody, shake out their shoulders.
Indeed, yeah.
Everybody, get ready. Matt, what do you think's gonna happen? Wait, who did we decide is gonna go first?
Eric,
Eric's going first.
I just decided right now.
Okay.
That seems like the natural thing to do.
Matt, what do you think's gonna happen? We gonna get good show out of this?
I think his answer is going to be a lot like mine and everybody else's, to be
Yeah,
honest.
that's true.
But
All right.
I'm always curious to see how
Okay.
this goes.
Eric, you ready?
Sure.
All right, get right in there, Mike. All right, Eric. What happens when you die?
Fuck if I know. Doesn't really. I don't know. I never really thought about it. I figured I didn't have to care until I die.
Well, you
I don't know if
figured
there's. I don't know if there's an afterlife or not. I never really cared about it.
Do you never think about it at all?
I think about it sometimes, but it's not something I really fret about because, like I said, I won't know until I die. So.
You're an ordained reverend.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not a faithful man. As I said, I do like secular performances. I got ordained online through the Universal Life Church. I'm not a holy man by any means.
Unless you count the holes in his underwear.
That's true. Yes.
Oh.
Holy underwear. Yes, but aside from that.
So ideally,
thoughts on the matter?
Yeah, come on. What do you think? Like, you are dead. What is happening now? You're dead.
You mean
things
spiritually or your corpse? Because your
Just-
corpse is moldering or dust if you're cremated.
No. Nobody
Either way,
cares
just where's
about the corpse.
Yeah, I mean, we all know that. Yeah, the body decomposes. What do you think happens though? Where does your brains go? Your thoughts.
I mean,
what happens?
it'd be lovely if like the whole like concept of like heaven with like which many large religions put forth was real. That'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no really reason to think that is or isn't. So it's just I don't know. Like you can sit and like just kind of turn your mind over forever with what really happens. But
And we will.
But to me, it's
And
just
we
like it's
have.
not something that you can really just concern yourself too much with because, again, you can't really know. I feel the same way, kind of like about like religion in general, with like a God. If there is one, I don't care in my life. I'll deal with it if I have to. Like if I'm dead and I have to face some like being, I'll do that then. Same thing as when I'm dead, I'll figure out what happens.
So you don't find it worth your time to kind of ponder it right now?
No, I ponder it. Like I wonder what happens, but I can't sit there and say this is what I think happens because I don't know.
What do you wonder about?
I do wonder, just seriously, what happens? Is it just blackness? Does like your soul like ascend to some other
Well, what do you
plane? Do you
think?
get reincarnated? I don't know.
What do you think's likely then?
There's really
Here's
no
the
way
thing. Just go with one that feels good right now. What do you think just probably happens? What do you just, when you just close your eyes and think for a second?
If you were gonna take a guess,
Do you feel fearful? Do you feel deeply fearful inside of you? That do you feel in your gut that this will all be stripped away and you'll be reduced to absolute nothingness, no memories, no fucking relic of your existence, no vibration of your soul, no little bit of you anywhere? Or do you feel this vague comfort somewhere inside of you that you feel like, okay, it's gonna be all right. I don't understand why, but I feel like I will, or like it doesn't matter if I don't, but I'll be okay and I'll be somewhere. Which one kind of do you lean towards?
I mean, I suppose like, it's just like death and how you look at it is like a frightening topic, but I guess I'm not really fearful of like what happens because again, like I said, it's gonna happen like regardless.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm just kind of leaning toward things will be okay somehow because I don't really know, but I'm not really like afraid of the concept.
So something inside you gives you a little bit of comfort and you feel sort of comfortable with the idea in some way.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
I could identify with that. Kind of just,
Although I feel like my answer was a lot more specific, but it kind of, I kind of took it further in being like, I feel comfortable, therefore it's probably this,
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean, my guess is for all I know, there could just be nothing. There could just be, just once you're dead, it's just all cut off, which is, I don't know. It's not.
Is that the worst option?
No, it's not. Not the worst option. It's just, it's very
What's
much a
worse than
possibility.
I think the worst case scenario would just be like a non-existence, like before you were born. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I would think like, still being like in some way like attached to your body, though it's like dead and you're just not
your
able to
body
do
is-
anything.
yeah,
that I think would be the worst.
Yeah.
Also, but we're
okay,
assuming
yeah.
certain. Well,
Okay,
just
yeah,
if we're
that-
going absolute
yeah.
worst case.
Okay, yeah, okay.
That sounds pretty bad.
That does
yeah.
sound worse than
I don't want
non-existence.
that.
Yeah, like feeling everything decaying and
just not being able to. Yeah.
I had to
That'd be
consider
bad.
that just like an eternity of sleep paralysis
that'd be bad.
while your body wastes away.
But your brain wouldn't be there. That's not
pretty
possible.
scary. Okay,
That's
well,
not possible. See, if your consciousness continues, it doesn't happen in your body. Anything electric in your body is gone. That's not happening.
It's interesting, Matt, that you said
Hang
like,
on, shut up, Veronica. Stop.
oh, do I not get to say anything yet?
Stop, Veronica.
Veronica.
Veronica. No, keep
All
the
right,
mic.
just-
Keep the mic. Keep
Just,
the mic. Hey, Veronica. Veronica,
What?
what's going on?
No, not much. I was gonna say something about the.
Hang on, hold on. Veronica. What happens when you die?
Well, of course you got me thinking since I didn't have to go first.
Can somebody
you know.
pass her some headphones so she can get the meditation music?
Oh, I get it. I can hear it. It's very nice.
No, you need to hear it more.
you need to hear it more.
It needs to really
Put
be
those on.
around your head. Yeah.
Put those on. Will you pass them over there? Thank you. Thank you, Nate. Nate, how's your new tattoo? Good? That's good. He's pointing at it and smiling. I think that means good. Veronica,
Okay, I think I'm ready now with the music.
what happens when you die?
Okay, well, I could get specific too. I feel at this point I would be comfortable with it too, and I also feel like I think I might have a choice of like coming back or not. I feel like I've reached a point where I could finally reach a level of like not having to come back because even though I guess and from that I believe in reincarnation, you could say. So I feel like I've been around a few times, and I get the choice this time to like leave. There's something really like that has impacted me about this time around, or whatever, you know. And no, I mean that is what it is, and I might. It's how I feel about like the spiritual part of my life, and so I guess I would probably feel like uncomfortable at first and confused.
Right.
And then I would like start to slowly understand it, and it would be probably pretty scary for a little while. And then probably once I really accepted it, it would probably feel like my every like particle of everything that I've ever known was like bursting, but not going away, but just like bursting into this like serious like, and then like I could go wherever, like is what I would feel. And like whatever that means is really something I can't explain right now.
Well, that's normal.
Yeah, so it would be really, it would be really interesting. Yeah, we'll fucking, yeah, right? And it's so scary. It's such a scary topic. I'm way more comfortable with the idea of my death than anything else's death, I think. And maybe I'm not, but I think I kind of am. A friend helped me with it once.
When I've lost someone I loved, I've thought I wished it was me.
Absolutely.
Because I just wish that I was the one that turned off and didn't have to deal with it.
Well, that wasn't my reason, but I have definitely thought the same thing. But maybe so. Maybe it was just like, how about like you guys hang out and I'm ready to go, because I just can't keep like, I'd rather go first and not have to like go through it over and over again. You know, the idea of the suspense coming up and up again, and I'm so grateful for like everybody that is alive. And anyways, obviously life is great, but death would be interesting, and it will be, because we only have one way out. So I think I could if I wanted to, I could come back around. I think I get the option. I don't know, something tells me. I don't know what I would do. We'll just see when I get there, I guess.
I'd like to make my second Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom reference tonight.
Go ahead.
Do you remember when his friend is dying in the beginning of the movie? I love what he says. He goes, "Indy, I've followed you on many great adventures, but into the great unknown, I go first."
Yeah, that's
And he
nice.
considers himself lucky. It's a beautiful sentiment. I don't know, sorry.
I agree. It's scary, but it's what it is. So. And it is beautiful.
I always say it's natural. Everything
Yeah,
dies.
it is.
You
Of
pulled
course
the-
it is.
So it
He
can't
pulled
be
the-
bad.
The only poetic
Exactly.
fucking line out of any Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah.
It's fucking
Oh,
hilarious.
man.
In the great abyss, I go first. I forgot about that until you
It's
said
beautiful, though, right?
that. Yeah. Jesus Christ, that poor kid, Shorty.
No, that's not Short Round who says that.
Oh, it wasn't?
No, it's his friend from the beginning who's playing the waiter. Remember they try and poison him?
Oh, fuck, that's right.
Yeah, I
I've seen that
remember
movie
that.
way too many times.
Yeah, that kid never dies.
No, dude.
The kids never
No,
die.
Short Round's fine. He goes on to run a very well-to-do whorehouse in Bangkok.
So,
Oh.
Veronica,
Yes.
do you ever think, now I'm just going to ask you, do you ever think that your view on this is just something you've convinced yourself of to feel more comfortable?
Possibly. I used to think of other things, and there's more to it, I guess. And maybe so, but I don't believe that everything goes away. Like, so yeah, I guess these are my little, like, theories about what might happen. And some of them probably, yeah, have left me more comforted. So it's kind of what I think about. But there's, like, more to it. Like, you know, I have thought about it. I've thought about it probably too much. But I've also had experiences that have introduced me to feeling more comfortable with the idea as well. So, and it's something that I could think of is very, maybe not, but I would assume just slightly similar to the experience that I like experienced. So, and maybe not, I don't know. Maybe I've been scared enough to think that I was dead before, and that is what's happened, you know. So that's like, I don't know. Well,
Groovy.
Anyways, it's interesting to like go through these motions and literally, I guess, be finishing a life and still awakening to the same one, but a death within the life. And I've had those sorts of experiences, which I've totally been okay with.
Sorry.
It's okay. I'll talk over it.
Sorry, I just want to break up the seriousness of this for a minute.
Oh, my bad.
Well done.
No, it's okay.
I mean, ultimately, nobody knows, but I always like hearing what people are going to say they at least assume will be the case.
Yeah.
And it's just a best guess kind of thing. True. I was initially surprised by how many people have said pretty much what I feel too, and the whole electricity analogy and all that. Like, I'm surprised pretty much everybody seems to think that. So it just bolsters that. Well, that's probably more so true, but that's a silly way of thinking. That's the kind of thinking that religious people have. Like, oh, it's Jesus, it's a book, and it's written, so it must be real. So just more people agreeing with me shouldn't make me feel like, oh, well, that's even more likely now, but it does.
Andrea.
Yeah.
What do you think of Veronica's thing?
I like it.
Do you?
Yeah. I wish that I was able to process myself clearly enough to feel like I've come back from anywhere, or that I might have an option to.
I felt like that before.
I just feel like it's more
feel like
vague.
it now.
And I don't think that I have that option, but I just think of it more in the terms of physical energy, and less of like a spiritual soul, and more of just a universal energy that you can meld back into or remain separate from, or But I think everybody kind of has that same idea about an energy that continues and either becomes part of the big picture, or finds a way to remain independent. But generally speaking, I feel like everybody has kind of brought up there's something that continues.
Except Eric. Yeah, I was going to say, except Eric.
Yeah.
Eric's just like, I don't know, fuck it, man.
Well, Eric didn't say that there's not. He just hasn't worried about it, which I also identify with, because for a long portion of my life, I just lived by the motto of who among you can add a minute to your life by worrying.
But who among you can add a minute to this show by doing this?
I was going to say, who among you will eat the cracker?
God damn it. That's our repeat gag. You're not supposed to talk over it. I was supposed to just say the same thing 60 times. While I play the tape rewinding. See how that works?
Well, my fuck up will get erased then, see?
Yeah. Wait, actually, let's rewind back past there. Eric, what happens when you die?
Fuck if I know.
All right, how about you,
We
Veronica?
went too far.
Well, no, I'm just kidding.
No, go ahead.
I'm not going to go through it all over again. I guess, right? So I guess that's my answer. I'm not going to go through it all over again.
All right.
Good.
Well, fuck y'all.
I got one more tattoo to do.
Do you?
Yes, I
Right
do.
here.
You gonna do Andrea? What are you gonna get?
That wasn't permanent. He just doodled it on me.
You gonna do a ray gun?
Gonna get a ray gun.
Should we talk while you do it, just for the fuck of it, or
No, let's let
just
me have good lighting and
let's
like
do
a nice
good lighting?
setting.
Let's end the show.
End the show.
Let's end the show with a song. What's our featured local artist of the week? Because I'll leave the song on the YouTube video.
All right, let's feature Blabbermouth.
Who's that?
They sent us Pay to Play. They are who I had queued up next, so they're featured.
Is it good though? Do we like it?
Yes.
No, seriously, is it good? Because
I
don't want
haven't
them to be
listened
the
to
feature.
everything.
All right, play a second of it. Let's see if it's good.
All right.
I don't like it so far. Hold on. Nope. All right, let's do something else.
Sorry, that
All
was
right.
yeah.
Who else?
That's how
Oh, you know
fickle-
who we liked, who we were listening to during the breaks was Dead Split Egos. Let's end with them.
They were
You
pretty
liked
solid,
them.
I thought.
Yeah.
Matt said they were like run of the mill shit.
Yeah, it just sounded
Well-
like meow 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 meow. But you know,
I thought it sounded
whatever.
pretty good.
Shut
I'm
up,
jaded.
Matt.
I'm jaded, kids. I'm old.
He's an old punker. He's been around too long.
Indeed.
The old punker.
Right.
I thought it sounded pretty cool. I like some of their stuff.
Telling you, check out Clato.
So we'll do Dead Split Egos.
Hot Lips
Dead Split
Messiah.
Egos.
All right, we'll let this fucking play.
This is Between Nothing and Nowhere.
All right.
Adieu.
Goodbye. See you Sunday. Oh, tune in Sunday. We got the paranormal fucking guests again. Just like old times. Goodbye.
One day I woke up with feeling back in my life. It was the first time in months that I didn't have to pretend. Then I would walk away with my head held up, or even walk away at all. Time I had something against my fall. I am the wolf, never the sheep. My past is not a reflection of me. I am the wolf, never the sheep. My past is not a reflection of me. Never the sheep. One day I woke up with feeling back in my heart. It was the first time in months that I didn't feel like falling apart. You had your struggles, and I had mine. I finally started to feel like I've left this all behind. I am the wolf, never the sheep. My past is not a reflection of me. I am the wolf, never the sheep. My past is not a reflection of me.